recording? Okay, I'm
We
clapping.
are live.
So when you see the big spike in audio,
Let's get the bumper going. I always like to have some intro bowl faded up. Let's go. Showing up in the master. Got May 3rd, 2022, bud.
Nakatomi Towers, 97.9 The Cat.
Dutch Chattahoochee. I love the intro.
I think it's great.
I got my hat at the flea market.
I got my hat at the lid store.
Nice. I'm liking some Oakland A stuff. It's a beautiful song.
It brings back a lot of memories. Remember when you and I used to go riding trails, running from the law?
Yeah, I was telling Mr. Nakatomi Towers he needs to, get some mariachis to hang out at the building.
I agree. But he says they'd be a distraction.
All right, I'm going to fade it down. Bam.
All
Intro, bumper. We got to turn off that YouTube maybe. Do we need that or can we mute that?
Well, I can mute this, yeah.
Because that's going to drive me,
It's going to drive
like
you
the
crazy.
delay.
Yeah.
But
I only had it on just to
see if it actually worked.
yeah, because you know how this technology
Yeah, we'll get
is.
this episode. We'll get it cut. I can't imagine anybody's watching it. I'm not really worried. If there is somebody watching it who does know anything about live streaming, this is an L8. It has like at least 8 channels plus like we can plug cell phone into it, and then we have OBS and Audition, and we're recording in Audition because that's how we throw
Yeah.
everything up on Spotify.
You know what? Here's what we'll do, though. I'll text my wife. Like, if you're awake, we're live streaming.
Yeah, so get her to see what it looks like.
I got this weirdest text message right now.
Yep.
It says, "Hi, Earl. My name is Sergeant Paz with the Marines. I am reaching out to see if you'd be interested in learning about education and career opportunities."
Dude, that's awesome.
Almost
You're gonna become a devil dog and leave the podcast.
Go
And
fight for the country, I guess.
get fix bayonets and show me your war face.
I do have a voicemail. I wonder if it's
Like, how does he get onto you? Is he just like?
I bet these are my sunglasses coming in today. I'll have to listen to that after the show. Actually, yeah.
Look at the Marine Corps. I like the recruiting. Sergeant Paz, shout out.
They kind of want my talents.
Semper Fi.
They want my talents, but I'm like, I'm out of that game.
I mean, who's to say you might not be the most deadly sniper in the world, and we're sitting here cutting podcasts, and you just have this eagle eye. You can see the vapor trail of the round striking some sort
Sitting in this tower right now, I can see all the way to Six Flags.
Oh man, yeah. I think don't give up on Sergeant Paz. If the podcast doesn't work out, you could always join the Corps.
Call him back. Sergeant Pat, you still available?
Yeah.
I got something to talk to you about.
I need to encourage all my Marine Corps buddies to listen to podcasts. I don't really know who's listening anymore, but I know 2 people who might be listening, and that is Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Barry, who will be having the Seguin River Monsters manager. We're going to have call in here in about 10 minutes after we do a little bit of intro BS, kind of roadmap it,
Talk
and
about
then
our roadmap.
get back to it. I made my little notes last night if I can find it, but here's some roadmap items. We can look back.
I saw you did what I did. You just started doing it on the computer rather than having like 5 pages
I used
of
to print
notes.
it. I used to print it out, but I was up late last night.
Yeah, me too.
And the television show that me and Elle are going on right now is Ozark, which is insane.
I love that show.
That's
a
a crazy show. So I was trying to watch that over the top of this while making notes. And the roadmap is, and I think we'll probably do some college baseball UTSA review after we get Mike and Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Barry on the phone. Because then I think talking about the roster and the college players on the River Monster will just kind of lead into college content. Because I was doing some research on how they're doing the regionals these days with the 64 teams that get in and the super regionals and who ends up in the College World Series. Also, not that rankings mean anything. I think rankings are fun. Obviously,
Yeah.
the only ranking is the one that at the very end of the season when you're the national champion. That's the only one that matters. But as a midseason and former player, you would always look at them to see who thought, they were special or who the press decided was special. And then it's always fun if you can knock off, a ranked team, it meant something. But I mean, the numbers really don't mean anything. But in my personal opinion, UTSA is being disrespected, which I think is fuel for fuel to the fire for a good team, right?
You said they were ranked 45, right?
I don't know. I saw something on Twitter that had the top 50 college baseball rankings, and I know Texas State is like up there. They could be like top 10 still. So I was like, all right, well, there was a barn burner up in San Marcos, and these are midweek games, so it's not a conference, but still, that was kind of a close game. Well, at least the last inning made it close. And then they came down to San Antonio, and the Roadrunners beat them down here. So you split a series with a top-ranked team, and the gap between Texas State's ranking and UTSA's ranking is massive. Like UTSA is ranked 47, which is disrespected. I'm fine if you want to throw fuel on that fire because I think that's a good ball club, and I'm hoping they go deep. But, yeah, we'll talk some River Monsters, and while we're talking River Monsters, we can pitch some promotional ideas because I've got some.
That'll be fun. I have a few.
I bet you got tons, buddy.
Why do you say that?
You just got good ideas. You're kind of good at everything, Dutch.
I try.
Yeah. Which game did you go to, this Missions game you catch?
Missions, yeah. They played the who did they play?
Well, Springfield was the game I saw.
Springfield Cardinals, that's right. Yeah, they were there.
My camera, I suck at taking pictures.
There was like this little corner. There's like nobody from Springfield really. There was like a family, and they were happy the whole time. They're like, yay, even though they lost.
Yeah.
And then one of the batters started crying.
Springfield's doing the thing
and I'm like, why you cry?
Springfield's doing the thing where they have the minor league affiliate uniforms very closely match the major league teams, but then the Missions are the Padres, but they don't really look much like Padres.
Which is funny because I was talking to
it's kind of cool.
I was talking to my friend who I went with, and I was like, I love when the minor leagues match the MLB team uniforms.
I'm kind of the other because we've seen that uniform, right? But when you're the Trash Pandas or the Chattanooga Lookouts or something weird, that's like, okay, that's a totally different hat, a totally different color scheme, and a totally different logo. So for like people that us like uniforms and hats and stuff, that's kind of fun.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, it is kind of cool. It makes sense, I guess, to get. But like the Buffalo Bisons jersey we got for Vladdy Jr., I mean, that's a Toronto Blue Jays.
The one I was rocking like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's like the Blue Jays AAA. And it doesn't really look much like the Blue Jays, so it's kind of cool that you get Buffalo Bisons. I like it when it's a little bit different personally, but that's my own. So that's another roadmap thing I ordered. There's a dude called Jay Daniel who's wrote a book called Finally. It's about the 1980 baseball season. I'll actually pitch it here because I'm reading it, and it's pretty good. I might give it to you, and then you can give it to Mr. Nakatomi.
What do you want to talk about? Oh, you know what? Here's what we'll talk about.
You talk about whatever you want to talk about, buddy.
So later on in this episode here, we're going to talk about the, MLB promotions that went bad.
Yes.
Like
I know Disco Night's quite famous.
Yes. There's also $2 beer night. So we'll talk about things like that. There was actually, I don't remember what year it was, but there was a white T-shirt contest.
There's a wet T-shirt contest?
There was a wet T-shirt contest.
That's the kind of stuff they were doing.
I actually wrote it down so I can look it up to see what year it is because I'm not sure, but that was kind of funny.
And I thought of that because I was reading the beginning of Jay Daniel's books. He's kind of going through the history of the Phillies and talking about the different ownership. And, like, they had some bad owners because owners were
Phillies?
always... Yeah, Phillies. And I can't remember. It, like, goes way back to the 1800s. He's talking about the different owners they had. Like, one owner was such a jackass, he got, like, banned from baseball. And then another guy, he... what did he do? So one of his promotions was, I'll tie tickets to the legs of pigeons and have them fly around town. I kind of like that idea. I'm going to pitch that. And then
my wife is now watching the live stream.
Okay. Could she hear anything?
She says she saw us, so hopefully some kind of audio is going through.
Who knows? So pigeons tickets, tie tickets to pigeons' feet. He had a circus on the baseball field, which I'm sure is really good for the turf. And then another thing, this is how, I don't know if it would have made sense in this series, but like the Philly team kind of sucked forever, and then they finally had like I think it was like Grover Cleveland and some other good players or whatever that. And I'm saying that wrong. It was I got to read the book again, but anyway, they made the World Series, and then the owner was like, "F that! I need to make as much money as possible." So he sold more tickets. He's like, "I want to sell more tickets than I have seats." So he just like roped off part of right field, but they're playing like the Boston, maybe the Red Sox, could have been the Bean Eaters, I don't know, but they were playing Boston in a World Series, and because he made right field a short porch, Boston had some left-handed hitters who hit some dingers into the roped-off area, and they lost the World Series. What do you think of that?
That's crazy.
Shot himself right in the crank.
You know, when I think of the Phillies, I always think of John Kruk.
I was thinking Kruk and Dykstra.
Yeah.
You had Mitch,
Jimmy Rollins.
Mitch Williams. Jimmy Rollins was in. I was looking at Marlon Anderson. He was a South Alabama alumni. He was with the Phils for a while. And,
Mitch Williams is the best Phillies player ever.
You had Jim Eisenreich, who's a good ball player. Kevin Stalker, who I want to say was a University of Washington guy, ended up at shortstop. I could totally be wrong.
Did you mention, what's his name, Lenny Dykstra?
Dykstra nails. Dykstra had some issues with the law, which may have been related to some ego issues, but I was like the biggest Lenny Dykstra fan like his whole career, and then he kind of went maybe money grabbing too much, and I think he ruffled a lot of feathers, got himself in some trouble, but I don't know the guy.
They've had some studs.
He was awesome with the Mets too when he came up.
Yeah, they had some studs over the years, like Ryan Howard had that little stretch.
Oh, what happened to Howard, right? He was so good.
I think he got hurt, and it kind of affected his swing, sort of, I think, something like that. Because he was a powerhouse for, 4 years, something like that?
Yeah, the Phils are, if you're not a Phillies fan, they're a fun team to like. I liked them because that John Kruk team was just dirtbags. They were this real scrappy team. I'm trying to think. You had Darren Dalton, I believe, was a catcher. And then
for me, it would have been the younger days with him.
That was a good ball club.
Yeah, I'm a little younger than you, but to me, it would have been Ryan Howard and Chase Utley in the mid 2000s.
Utley was so
good. That's kind of was like, okay, this
Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah,
they had a good.
They've had a good history of good players.
Shane Victorino, the Flying Hawaiian.
They've had a good history of good players. Unfortunately, they just haven't won a World Series in forever. But when was it? 2000 something when they won their last World Series?
That's a good question. The Phillies.
I think it was. Remember
Series.
when they?
Oh, because they had Utley. That team was.
Howard, I think too. Possibly.
Oh, and of course, my favorite of all time was Matt Stairs, who played on many teams, but I think he was on the Phils when they won that World Series.
He's a utility legend.
Man, there's some good articles on Stairs that are, along the lines of if you let Matt Stairs play, 150 plus games a year, like you just let him be your regular, left fielder or whatever, or first base, and he got the same at bats as some of these guys for like a 17 plus year career, or even a 15 plus year. The guy's a Hall of Famer. I was like, I kind of agree with that. That dude could rake. And he was, Matt Stairs, you love even more because he doesn't have that physical appearance prototype that people think is going to be a super athlete. But the guy, in fact, was a super athlete. I think he's awesome at hockey. He's, I believe, in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, as he should be. But
so here we go. Never mind. Yeah, 2008 World Series
was the Phils.
Yeah, so they won one in 80, and then they won one again in 08. So.
Man, oh man. And I think Stairs was on that team. But I don't have to be accurate about baseball. We can talk River Monsters and all kinds of River Monster developments and signings. They have also, and I kind of want to mention this guy. I want to highlight there's another podcast that's partnering with the River Monsters.
I saw that, and he said he would be in some games this year. I'm like, we should partner with him somehow.
We got to talk with that guy because I don't view it as competition. It's the same as the guy who's posting cats at 3BGB. I was like, that's just good cross-pollination.
You know what it is? It's the same thing as being in a band. We podcast. He's in a band. We're in a band. We play a show together. We podcast together. Same thing.
That's how it works. You go on tour,
yeah.
like Wu-Tang Clan, right? All great individual rappers, but you put them together and you make Wu-Tang Clan.
We could
it's
be
even bigger and better.
Combine our 2 podcasts and make it like one Seguin River Monster focused podcast, where that's mainly what we talk about. Talk about, the games, right? The roster moves, players, stats, all that good stuff, promotions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Make it fun.
And did you watch any of his videos? And I want to get it right. It's
I
like
saw
it's
a few,
like
yeah.
it's like the Take Two. Is it Take Two podcast? I want to
something like that.
We got to look it up though.
I think I saw that on Facebook. Yeah, it was on Facebook that I saw it. They announced it yesterday. I was like, oh shit.
Sponsor highlight. Let's do some sponsor highlights here. You got the Texas Baseball Report. It's a sponsor, which is awesome. And then you got the official jersey provider, which is.
Speaking of which, my hat and my baseball shirt I ordered,
Sports.
it's on its way.
Okay.
So here, and hopefully the next week, I'll be able to come in and wear that shit.
Got Alex Lopez signing from U of H. Then you got, here it is, the 2, let's see here. Let's Get 2 podcast.
That's what it was.
Awesome.
I was thinking Clap 2 for some reason. Here, I'll have to bust out my phone. Oh, by the way, my wife said she can hear and see the video.
That's
so
awesome.
We're solid.
Hi, Miss Raymond. We love you. James Christopher. So the Let's Get 2 podcast, I watched that dude, and if you read his profile, he does like pro film and stuff like that, and I checked it out, and I was like, this is what I love about us, because we have no idea what we're doing, or totally unprofessional. But we're is.
Pros. We're actually pros.
We're kind of pros, and that dude's really pro. His stuff, he had all these like graphics and like little screens. He was doing like call-ins. He must know how soundboards work. Maybe he can fix this problem. But he was like, video this guy, video that guy. He's like interviewing them.
I wonder if like
remotely the sound was awesome. There's graphics. I was like, this guy's gonna take this operation to the next level.
I wonder if that's like if like that's like his main, like that's all he really does, his podcast stuff. So
it looks like he travels a lot and checks out games. And I want to get it right because he's a person with 2 first names: James Christopher James. It's James Christopher. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy James.
Jimmy James. Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. But, Dutch Chad Hooch and Turnstile, we're like a little Goonie bird trying to take off. We're galloping along, flapping our wings.
Hey, we're 22 subscribers in, so what's up?
22 subscribers is way strong. And Mr. Nakatomi says that when he goes back to Japan and he starts auditing some of his manufacturing plants, he's going to force people to listen.
You know what he told me?
What did he tell you?
He told me that he thought about changing from 97.9 The Cat to 97.9 3BGB FM.
Oh, that's awesome.
He said he'd have to get it worked out with like the city.
Oh, nice.
But he said there's a 75% chance that may happen. So let's fingers crossed.
I like it. I just like how he abuses our management because he's not really like in the production, like radio production flow. But since he owns everything,
he can do what he wants. He's like, you work for me now, so you want a job or not? I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I just got a text
from
the management of the Seguin River Monsters.
What'd they say?
And this is where Mike G.
They said, sign me up.
Mr. Gigliotti and the legendary Scott Berry are at the field as we speak. Smokey Joe Williams.
They're setting it up.
Municipal Stadium. Yeah, they're down there doing things. I said, we'll call you here in a second, and we'll get it going.
They said, okay.
All right, buddy. Well, that's kind of what I got. Just Seguin River Monsters action.
It's actually a really nice looking park if you like go to their website and look at it.
Smokey Joe Williams, and we'll probably talk about this more when we do the River Monsters, but I was looking at, all these different college websites trying to look at the stats of the rosters of the River Monsters, and the one thing I did notice, just mentioning stadiums. So I thought Hillsborough Community College was in Oregon, and there is a Hillsborough, I believe, in Oregon. But the Hillsborough Community College that these two cats go to is in Florida. So I was like, all right, let's check out this school, and it's Landon Morrison goes to Hillsborough, and then there's a pitcher, Matthew Johnson, who might be your favorite because he's from Tampa. But
yeah, that's my favorite.
But those two guys go to Hillsborough Community College. And I was looking at their website, and all these colleges, some of them kind of use maybe the same software or like website design for their stats. I couldn't find Olu stats for some reason. Like, I don't know what's up
There
with
was-
their
I-
website. But
There was a few, like I was able to pull up, but it was only in 2 games in or something.
yeah, I don't really know.
And
but
there were some others, like I was trying to look at their college stats, and there was a lot where they had the website itself had not even very many stats. It had had team stats, but not individual players.
Did you look at Houston, University of Houston? I thought they had weird. They just had a PDF, and it was like 10 games old.
Yeah,
for their
because I was
stats.
trying to find the catcher, and I couldn't find anything on this guy.
Yeah, that's right.
I found like his.
I found that he's an awesome student.
Yeah, I found like
Cade
his.
Brewer is a genius. He's like a National Honor Society guy.
So what I did find.
Maybe he can figure out our sound. He's like, Cade, check this out.
What I did find about him it was his 2018 high school report, like his rankings and his grades and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing. I do want to give a big shout out.
He did run a 60-yard dash in 7.59, so that's not too bad.
That seems insanely fast. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I couldn't run 60 yards. But Jack Ivey, the great promoter of the Weimar Hormigas, texted or DM'd me on Twitter. He's like, dude, I finally got a hold of Andrew Dunn of the Pecos League, and I've handed over the Twitter handle to him. So the Pecos League is in control of that social media. And then he also goes, I've found some of your stats when you played college summer baseball in New York.
Turnstile himself?
Yeah, and I believe I found that Mahoney guy you were talking about that hit the 3 home runs out of your home ballpark that nobody on your team could ever hit a home run out of. I was like, dude, this guy, Jack Ivey, is the basically the type of baseball mind that we just got to grab and hold on to, because I was like, dude, we got to get Jack to be a caller on a show because his knowledge is voluminous and his research skills are obviously, fantastic. So I just want to give a shout out to Jack. And when we talk, I'm sorry, I'm hot. I'm a hot windbag, but when we talk to Mike G and Scott Berry, I feel like we're going to get a sense for how busy these dudes are trying to put together this team with all these sponsors.
They don't sleep.
There's no time. But imagine Andrew Dunn. He's not only doing that for a team, he's trying to do that for a league. That's the Pecos League. That dude's busy. That's why he doesn't get back to an email for a while, because that's how busy those guys are.
So this is a random thing I want to talk about. It's not very long, but it's
I need you to go because I'm plugging in the phone now. We're about
Speaking of college baseball, so there's this guy on this weekend. He's a pitcher for Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah, this guy.
Oh, you heard about him?
Joyce, he's throwing like 105.
Yeah. So Ben Joyce threw 3 pitches at 105, 15 pitches at 104, and 28 pitches at 103. So it says out of his 33 fastballs, 28 were 103 plus. So this guy's throwing heat and not even getting tired, right? I took a screenshot of that when I saw that. I was like, that's fucking cool as fuck. It's interesting.
That's so crazy, but like if anything, I fear, right, what's happening to all these young kids that throw so hard, right? It's Tommy John in a couple years.
Rotator cuff going tear.
Yeah, there's just all like, it's not the Greg Maddux who's topping out at 91 with a changeup and switching it up, and you still can't hit that.
Like, I remember when I was a kid.
Heat. Let me throw as hard as I can for 6 innings, dude. Your arm's going to give.
Like when I was a kid in the 90s, I thought 95 was awesome. Like, that's fast. Now it's like 100 something.
Well, the argument now is the 105 isn't really 105 because the old guns measured the balls across the plate, and the new guns are measuring as it's coming out of their hand. So it's like all the numbers are like way higher now anyway. And
now also exit velocity on the bat is a big thing.
Yeah, you got to get all these metrics.
There's stats for everything.
All right. Well, tell me some funny stories about Mr. Nakatomi, and I'm going to try to get Mike on the phone.
I do remember the first time we had Nakatomi over he invited to his house for a barbecue.
Oh yeah, it's ringing. Mike's ringing. Oh, this is gonna be awesome if he picks up right now.
Hey Ernie.
Oh, Mike. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, you're talking into the soundboard. You're on the. Technically, we're live streaming. We had some issues with.
Nice.
I mean, you guys can check it out on YouTube. We got Earl's Dutch Chattahoochee's wife watching. She's like, yeah, I can actually see it and hear you guys. So
nice.
This is maybe the
first successful one, huh?
I don't really know. Like, this is how confusing it is. We don't even know what mic is picking up sound.
It's not picking up the soundboard mic. So when we go back in and do the video itself, we'll have to link up the audio with the video. But
we are actually doing our first walkthrough in the stadium right now.
Are you guys side by
As we
side?
speak.
Should I
And I
call
have
Mr.
3%.
Barry?
And I was going to have you call him, Ernie. I got 3% over here on my phone.
Oh,
Just typical
perfect.
me, always running on low.
Well, we were just talking about how busy of a man you must be.
No sleep.
But we'll get Mr. Barry on the phone. And
I'm with him right now. Yeah, we're doing a walkthrough. So.
all right, let me try to merge the calls. Maybe should I just keep you on the horn, or just let your phone save that?
We're heading over into the truck right now, so it could be a bit quieter. There's a little bit of construction going on over here.
I see. Let's see.
But yeah,
here.
if you want to just give Scott a call,
Let's see
and
here.
then we'll flip it.
All right, I'm gonna try to do that right now.
Don't mess it up.
All right, audio and technical. You never know. All right, let's go back here, and I'm gonna go down, and then I'm gonna call this number. Let's get Mr. Barry on the phone.
Technology is too advanced.
All right. Part 2. New York 315. That's what we got here.
Hello.
Oh no, is this Mr. Barry, Mr. Scott Barry?
Yes, it is.
General manager of the Skiing River Monsters. I'm going to try to merge calls. I wonder what happens to get echo, or if we should just keep it on one phone.
What I did, I just closed out, Ernie.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're just on Scott's phone. We got you guys on speaker then.
Beautiful.
Yeah, do we sound all right on speaker?
I think so. I'm getting you on my headphones instead of on the phone, and I think it sounds great. So we'll just go from here. And I'll go with bio, and then Earl may have some questions. But you boys, you gentlemen played baseball together, if I'm not mistaken.
We did, yeah. We played high school. I mean, we actually played going back since.
This is Utica, though. This is Utica, New York. Is that correct?
You got it. Yep. Utica, New York. We actually were on the same Little League team as well. We played Little League, and then all the way up through, leading up into modified, JV, varsity together.
That is awesome. Now,
our Little League team was actually an expansion team, so it's kind of
our first year Little League was the expansion.
You guys were an expansion franchise.
We were a brand new Little League team.
You guys were like the 1970s Mariners, Seattle Pilots coming on there.
Except they didn't have a shit season. They went undefeated.
They probably did. Now,
which is the opposite, actually. We actually went defeated in our expansion year league, but then we did turn it around in year 3. I think we were like, we were very good.
We had a good season finally, yeah.
It's similar to Walter Matthau's Bad News Bears. It's just kind of this turnaround that happens. You start believing in yourself, and the coach stops drinking.
From
That
first
definitely
to last,
helps.
as they say.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, gentlemen. I want to refer to, and I want to get your name right, Mike. And it's Gigliotti, right? It's a silent G on the second G.
You got the silent G. Yeah, we usually say gelati.
Gelati.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, the G and the L, exactly. When it's together in the Italian language, it is silent. So if you could think of familia, it looks like famiglia, but the G is silent. So that's family.
Okay, so gelati, because I kind of want to be in the stadium chewing out junior peanut vendors, like that's Mr. Gelati to you, punk, and then make them do push-ups and just kind of that sort of verbal abuse to hand out, or, get some kid that's like helping park cars is like, Mr. Barry says jump, you ask how high, mofo, and just kind of just run a tight ship is what I'm looking to do there. But well, that's great. So how's the ballpark? What's the seating capacity down there at Smokey Joe Williams?
So the capacity, the fire marshal, we spoke with the parks director, and they gave us the official fire marshal, capacity of the stadium. It was listed at 900. And so there's a pretty decent size grandstand back here that probably, I would say, fits about 500-600 maybe.
Yeah, I would say
500-600.
half to over half of the capacity, and then on each first base and third base line, there's another set of small bleachers and some nice standing room areas that we want to turn into kind of like a family zone and a place to stand and hang out instead of just being in a seat.
Yeah, there's some good standing room on the sides of the grandstand as well that I'm going to utilize. So.
Nice. And I'm just spitballing here as ideas pop into my little brain. What about a hot tub? Get a hot tub sponsor and just be like, bro, this is just free advertising. Just throw up one of those little inflatable hot tubs and then turnstile Dutch Chattahoochee get in there in the 6th inning. call an
It'd be
inning.
100 degrees over here in June.
We might need a cold tub.
Just maybe a kiddie pool. Maybe a kiddie pool is the way to go there. Something like that. Well, that sounds good. The city's on board. I'm seeing tons of sponsors coming on board, which look awesome. And then you guys are just working your butt out. I imagine it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and then, like, is it you, Mr. G, that's working the sponsorships, and then Scott's working the player signings? How are you guys dividing and conquering, or is this basically like let's just do anything we can do to push the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a master shared task list that we work off of together, and it's there for everybody to see, and we just go through and tackle as much as we can. But yeah, for the most part, Scotty is doing a lot of the team stuff for us, and I'm gonna doing a lot more of the sponsorship type of outreach. And my wife's helping out with a lot of the travel. There's just a lot of pieces to the puzzle in an operation like this. And, we're getting it done. It's just about working off a task list, really. So
our Coach Reyes has been really big in,
huge.
tapping into the players. He's got a good network with the college baseball players around the area. So he's been big in helping us find the right guys and build the roster.
Yeah, Coach Reyes has been really instrumental in building the roster and doing all the outreach, communicating with the players, way more than what we had imagined.
That's awesome. Because that was kind of the next question. I found summer baseball in Schenectady due to my junior college coach, and just kind of kept with it for 3 summers. So the legendary Coach Reyes, the field general, is because there's a lot of different schools. You got 2 guys coming from Florida. You got Arkansas Tech. You got a grab bag of junior colleges here in Texas, and then you got some University of Houston guys. Is that and you guys probably have a network from being baseball guys yourself, but Coach Reyes and his assistant, Coach Morales, kind of tracking these guys down.
They are, yeah, and we're getting a lot of just a general outreach too. Direct hits to us on our player forum. I think we had about 150 players, sign up on our forum. So we had a lot just direct, inflow to our team.
That's interesting. So how many of those guys would you say are like direct signs after you got, that weren't through the general manager or Coach Reyes, where you're like, okay, we got a form from this guy, let's look into him, and that's kind of interesting too, because this is Tony Texas Tony Turnstile's personal opinion. You guys are doing a service to the community, bringing baseball, but you're also helping the players get their reps in. Young college players, freshmen, redshirt dudes. We're looking at some of these guys' numbers. Some of them aren't getting that much playing time because they are freshmen. So you guys are giving people a shot. How does that come about with the player forums?
So the player forum, we just kind of posted for any guys who are interested in playing this summer. And like Mike said, we got a ton of feedback, and that was a good base for Coach Reyes to start looking into these guys and seeing who he wanted. And, we do want to give these guys a platform to showcase themselves this summer. A lot of them have the goal of playing baseball long term and making that, a potential career. So we want to showcase them as much as we can, which is why we do these announcement videos. And in the season, we want to make sure that, we're really showcasing what these guys can do on the field. And as people, we got good guys coming in.
So what is I'm looking at the roster. It's pretty filled out right now. What is there a TCL cap? Or is it just like, hey, man, I know guys rotate in and out. What's the roster rules for the league?
Usually, I know the usual cap is around 30. So you're good if you're running at about 30 guys on a team. I've been told, and just kind of seeing how the league ran last year, there can be, some turnover. Some guys could get called up to the MLB draft league, the Appalachian League, some of the other leagues.
Yep.
That might be a step up from the TCL, so that's a possibility. So we anticipate definitely probably signing some more spot contracts in late June, early July, as we get towards the middle of the season.
That's interesting. Mid-season call-ups. Have you seen guys go from the TCL league out to like Cape Cod or Alaska and things like that?
That happens, yeah. I don't know about Alaska, but I think, the draft league is a popular one, Appalachian League. Those are the two sponsored by the MLB.
Is the
And then you've got
Appalachian
the
League? I'm sorry for interrupting there. Is the Appalachian League the Savannah Bananas one, or is that a separate?
I really don't know what the Savannah Bananas do. If they're in they might be in a 2-league thing where they do like a fun team, and then they have a real team that's in a league too as well.
Okay.
I haven't really looked too much into that, because they do have it's like almost like the Globetrotters of
It's crazy.
college baseball.
I mean, I just became aware of them through social media. Maybe that's the segue into insane marketing ideas, none of which you guys have to listen to. The fact that you're even getting on the horn with us, you're going to let me and Dutch hang out at the field is epic. But
Yeah, and we're incredibly thankful for you guys and your support this year.
well,
Every little bit helps. And to all of our sponsors, we're incredibly thankful, because it's not possible without the help of all of the sponsors, including you guys. It's not possible. So really, shout out to you guys, and for everything that you're trying to do,
partnership made in heaven. People just baseball nuts, finding baseball nuts in the baseball world. But I'm going to throw it to Dutch, because Dutch has done some research on promotional get downs, some of which have gone sideways. But I've got some ideas cooked up. What are you thinking over there, Dutch?
Me?
Yeah.
What's your idea?
Well, I
Since
mean,
you seem to be hot and ready to discuss it.
well, here's one I was gonna throw at, and I like to say just Mr. Gelati and Mr. Barry, because it's the military structure in me. It's the Marine Corps in me. Got to have rank structure. It'll be chaos without it. Remember how they had disco night in Chicago?
Yeah.
Went sideways. People are blowing up records. Total chaos. This kind of things
man.
Bill Veeck they did. What if you did the opposite? Go pro disco night. We got those little glitter balls everywhere. I bust out some huge butterfly collar, and I'm just dancing my ass off up there. Do you think the people of Seguin are
disco
ready?
night is a great idea
For a disco night, like
Disco
and
night.
market it as a resurrection of, as you remember, everybody was always crapping on Bill Buckner, and then Boston said, dude, we were dicks. That was mean. That dude's just trying to do his best out there. He's a good hitter for us, a good player. Made one flipping mistake, and we dumped on him for decades. Brought him back as the most beautiful, heartwarming apology ever. Maybe baseball needs to make an apology to disco, and we'll do it for the city of Chicago. I don't know. That's one idea I had.
Will you guys wear the 4-wheel rollerblades around the concourse?
Yeah, so we'll go. We'll definitely I'll put on some skates. I'll put on some roller skates, and honestly, there's some really good. Mainly, I see it with whoever the NCAA college basketball coaches were in the 70s, but there were some sweet leisure suits that happened, and I don't know where I get them, if it's the Goodwill, but I'm not against a leisure suit, so that's one idea I had. Oh, and another one, there's a good cigar shop. I want to talk to that guy in Seguin. I don't know if you guys have driven into town on I think it's 90 Business. You go past Granzine's, and then there's it looks like a storage facility, but there's a sign that says cigars. I've been in there and talked to that guy. They're pretty nice.
Nice.
I think I bought a bunch of cigars when Teddy was born. I was handing these things out. Haha, I did nothing. I'm a dad. Now it's really hard. But I was I got to smoke cigars. But that was good. And I was I feel like I'm going to light up a nice stogie after home wins. That's what I'm going to do. But I get this cigar sponsor in there.
Shit, after a home went out to knock back a natty light
That's a
shotgun.
great idea.
But I'll talk to that guy. Oh, and the other one I had, which I teased, but I've gone to the next level on the Blues Brothers Daily Drive promotional. So the Blues Brothers Rhythm and Blues Review at the Palace Ballroom, epic show as we all know, but they canvassed the city of Chicago the day of the show with a directional speaker on the hood of their Calumet police car, and that was phenomenal marketing. So I went to the flea market because I love the flea market. And if you haven't been to Trader's Village, go. It's amazing. Got myself a couple speakers. Granted, they look like Mexican flags because I like the colors, and they were $50 a pop. But I think I can actually, they're Bluetooth speakers with mics. I think they have the cable mic. I can pinch those in the windows outward of the 2016 Kia Sedona, and I can drive up and down the streets of Seguin, Texas.
We'll just go downtown Seguin.
Just go downtown Seguin. I'm definitely going to lap. HEB gets so much traffic. I'm going to go Walmart,
It's the
HEB, downtown, and like circle TLU, and just have like a figure eight. I'm due through town for about an hour saying, River Monsters game tonight. You want to see some excellent college baseball? Come on down to Smokey Joe Williams.
We'll have signs too on the. I'll be hanging out the
That would
side of
be
the
epic.
car with a sign.
I think that needs
Lewis
to.
Brothers promotional drive. I like that.
Well, something like that. I don't know.
I'll
Just-
get a megaphone. I'll just walk down the
I'm,
streets.
I'm spitballing here. Well, I'll.
You get a big flag,
Oh yeah,
River Monster flag.
do that.
We'll buy.
I'll make sure I give a couple tickets to the sheriff's department and the local police department so they like don't pull over my highly illegal vehicle as I'm driving through town. Make sure to stay on the right side of the law.
I think if I want to walk around downtown with a megaphone, I need a permit. But fuck the permit. Just do it anyway.
Well, who's going to pull over Kia Sedona anyway? It's the
Nobody.
greatest vehicle ever made.
Like, we're not from this city.
Well, let's let me have you guys feature some sponsors you might like. We were talking, and I can't remember if I mentioned it, but we teased it. I believe it was the Take Two podcast. We like that guy a lot. We fear no competition. We like to cross pollinate, and James Christopher. Oh, it's Let's Get To the show at Let's Get To the show, and I checked out some of his stuff, and it was awesome.
I think we should combine with that guy and make like an exclusive like Seguin River Monster podcast or show or something.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
the River Monsters got some sponsors coming in just in the last so many hours, and that just tells me that you guys are busting your butts.
I think it'd be cool also to do like a pregame and postgame show, right?
Yeah, well, you got to do player of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Post game.
Yeah, one of the things too, guys, what we just actually ordered is, thanks to your sponsorship, is the large 8-foot tall by 10 feet wide media backdrop that
Nice.
we're going to display in the concourse. And yeah, if we can get you guys some stools, I just think it would be really cool to have like a live pregame show in front of that
Well,
that fans can listen to, or postgame show, or we can pull the players over, the coach over for interviews. Just a lot of good stuff we could do with that too.
talk about the game. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we'll definitely do that. That'll be like team up with that guy.
Got to do that stuff, and really it's about the kids and the coach. Give these guys a push. You know, my hot air, I can fill 24 hours a day of bullshit, but I want to hear what these kids are saying about their bats. I want to hear what the coach is saying about the ball game.
Yeah.
I don't know Coach Reyes. He doesn't have to be Lou Piniella and throw bases, but that would be awesome if he was too. Then I could talk to him about what happened with that call. That was an awesome meltdown. But anything he does is going to be good with me. But if you guys want to pitch some sponsors you like that you got on board, and also talk about some of these sign-ins. Got Alex Lopez from University of Houston coming. It's looking like a good second baseman.
Very good second baseman. Yeah, I'll let Scotty talk to the roster. Just some of our sponsorship stuff, shout outs, and kind of where we're at with sponsors right now. I think we're up to about 30 different sponsors that have come on board this year so far. We're super excited, all the interest that has come so far from everybody. And we've been doing posts for all of them, those announcement posts that you can see. We've got, people not only just helping us with, funding, but we have, trade sponsorships as well. Like we've got Boss's Pizza out in New Braunfels. They're going to help us feed the team
Nice.
after the games. So, that's like a food trade. And that's a huge, sponsorship for us. We've got Guadalupe Printing Solutions in downtown Seguin.
Oh, yeah.
That's helping us out with a lot of the print stuff, like our tickets, for example, which is very popular. Our family pack, which is still on sale right now, for $100. You can get access to every single game. You got 4 tickets to every single game, so that works out to $1 per ticket, which is pretty much free. You're coming into the games for. So Guadalupe Printing Solutions, shout out to them for helping us out with some of the prints.
Nice.
We've got our jersey provider is helping us out. That's Swing It Sports out of San Antonio. They'll be manufacturing our jerseys. And then on top of that, we had funding from Centex Elite Baseball come through with helping us with the jersey sponsorship there, to provide, because we're doing a home and away. We got to do the pants, the belts, the socks,
Nice.
batting jackets we want. So there's a lot involved with jerseys too. We have a really cool sponsorship coming out of Minnesota. Right?
Minnesota, yes.
Minnesota. A bat company called Naked Bat Company. Just
Nice.
a really cool brand. A really cool guy up there, Marcus Sound. Shout out to him. He's sending us some really good maple bats, wood bats this season. So we're excited to do the reveal for that coming up soon.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yep. What else, Scotty? I know it's hard for me.
It's
and my
hard to
brain
remember. You guys
to
are
do
you
it.
guys
You
are
knocked
busy.
off a lot of them. I mean, Aftermath Gym down in Seguin is giving our
Yes.
players the option to be able to work out there whenever they want to.
That's
which
sweet.
is nice. I know those guys like to get their workouts in. So for the out of town guys to not have to worry about getting a gym or anything, to be able to go to Aftermath is nice.
How is the host families thing shaping up? Because I know you guys are always looking for lodging on that. Are all the host families in Seguin, or are there some people in San Antonio doing it? How's that working?
We do have, I believe, one in New Braunfels, 2 in Seguin. Combined, I think we have about 6 beds right now for some of our players. We need 3 more beds. So if anyone is out there listening, if you got an extra spare room this summer in San Antonio, just for 2 months, June and July, the players will have their own cars. They really just need a bed and a bathroom, and I'm sure Tony, you can talk to that since you were living that life for 3 seasons.
Oh yes.
In upstate New York.
Oh, Bob Belize and his bingo parlors and his slums in the slums of Albany. I don't know where he got those buildings, but they were definitely not up to code. But you throw a mattress on the floor and put in a Sega Genesis, some pastaroni, and you throw. You always had to have. We always had ice pops. You got to throw a pack of those ice pops
you need those
in the
99
freezer,
pops.
and we were living college kid paradise. I think I don't really know.
What was the go-to Sega Genesis game?
That was one thing we talked. Like it kind of changed every summer. And I can't remember when Tiger Woods came out, but I think it was just like PGA Tour golf was the first summer, and we just played that golf game forever. And then the second one, there was I want to say it was the Nagano Olympics, Winter Olympics. That's how old I am, but it was the luge, that was it. There's a million events on it. You can do skiing and hockey, you can do all this stuff, but no, all we did was luge.
Those games broke your fingers because you had to tap the buttons so
well, no,
fast.
that's
over
the
and
luge.
over.
The luge was all steering. There's no tapping. It was just how you entered the corner and exited the corner kept your speed up. And so, yeah, that was amazing. And then I can't remember what the other summer was, but maybe the last summer was the one we were in the haunted house. So that we were just trying to keep the ghost at bay. But summer ball lodging is always different. We never did do the host families in Albany, but I was a little bit. I want to say one of the guys married the daughter of one of his host families in Hornell, so that can happen to you also. Shout out to Kenny Folkers. That's good. I'll see if I can clear out some room at the turnstile casa, and then those dudes can jump in the pool after the game or whatever. I can give them hitting tips that they don't. They just don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's all good to go, gentlemen. I don't want to take up your whole day. You're out Smokey Joe Williams. Dutch might have some inquiries, but I know we're both excited about getting out there.
I did just order. Well, my hat and my baseball tee is shipped, so it'll be here in a couple of days. So
yeah,
nice.
I'm excited to wear the
Yeah,
gear.
thank you guys for supporting by doing that.
I'm excited to wear the gear. I saw it had a lot of cool hat designs, and I love baseball tees. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I need that.
I'm always trying
to try our best to get some in stadium merch over here too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to rock that jersey.
We are in talks with a local print shop, embroidery gal here in town, and she's gonna come up with some cool designs, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff in the stadium too.
That sounds great. What's the press box situation? Does Smokey Joe have a press box, or am I going to have to come out with a ply board and the nail gun?
So we do have a press box. There is a PA press box, and today we got the keys. Yesterday, we're in here today, but the one key that we have doesn't get us in, so we gotta
break down that door
and and try to get that key in there, because we do want to we got to test out the music situation and test all that good stuff out. And we'd love to have you guys down. I mean, maybe next week we can get you down here and we can start planning some stuff too. I think we'll be getting some banners and more stuff to start setting up probably next week. So
You guys are doing the
Instead
Lord's.
of hitting wiffle balls in the woods, you guys can come hit some wiffle balls. At,
Go take. Go
That'd
take.
be a fun thing, like before like a wiffle ball
Take
night
some
or
hack.
something.
Yeah. As you can see, it's a lot of what we're doing is technology hurdles, and I actually not edited into that little sketch because I did get the audio of the whatever Little League field maintenance mower guy being a huge dick to
Yeah,
us,
he
but I
was
didn't
like,
put
"You
it in
gotta
there.
go." We're
I
like,
couldn't. I
"Dude."
couldn't make it fit, but we were ejected from Little League facilities up here in San Antonio, and that's the way it goes. But adapt and overcome, as they say. Well, that's. I mean, I'll let you boys go. We're gonna profile some of the players. We get off the horn with you guys. Let you get back to it. But Mr. Gelati, Mr. Barry, we appreciate everything you guys are doing out there, making Dutch and my dreams come true.
It's pretty cool to have a summer league team so close by. We can go watch.
Skiing's a great town,
Yep.
and shout out to Vogue Shoes. It's where I get all my footwear.
Yeah, Vogue Shoes is helping us as well. And we'll be doing, on our website too. There's a sponsor page, and all of our sponsors are listed there as well. Some pretty cool sponsors. We got the Seguin Music Shed. They do music lessons, and he played in front. He was a lead drummer and played in front of 50,000 fans for what was it, Leonard Skinner, I think.
That's
He
crazy.
opened for Leonard Skinner, so just a pretty cool dude there helping us out. But yeah, we really appreciate you guys as well. If there's anything we can do, or if you have any questions for us, you know how to reach us.
All right, I don't know if this will ever happen, but Texas Lutheran has a connection to one of my personal heroes, Vern Lundquist. He is an alumni up there, and then my last job in Seguin, one of our IT guys, his dad was like the football coach out there. There's like a deep connection with Texas Lutheran. Texas Lutheran has great athletics as well, but
They have a great baseball team this year.
they
I know
do.
that.
Yeah, they are so good. They got some really good players. But yeah, Vern is a big supporter of the city of Seguin, and particularly, of course, his alumni, Texas Lutheran. He comes down, I think, almost every year for like an alumni event. But wouldn't that be awesome to get Vern down to the ballpark for a game? Let him call it in. Of course, he's a football. He likes football, basketball better than he likes the baseball. He does the golf as well. But what a legend!
Well, let us know, or we'll let you know. Whoever can get in contact.
Tease
We'll make it happen.
tease names I have no ability of actually retaining. But anyway, it's fun to dream, and we'll let you guys go. And thank you. Oh, actually, I have one last question for Mr. Barry, because my understanding is you're in Florida, so you're just globetrotting to make this baseball. You just got to Texas a few days ago.
Yes, I'm back in Texas now. I've been a little nomadic the past few months, but now I'm settled in Seguin, getting ready for the season.
Nice. Are you what's the lodging if for the globetrotting, Mr. Barry? Are you got an apartment there? Or you just crashing at Smokey Joe Williams? How's that working for the general manager?
Mike's got a nice little ranch out here, so
I see.
I'm staying with him.
The management.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got him up in one of our RVs. He's keeping an eye on my cows out here.
That's awesome. You guys
General
are.
manager and a ranch hand.
I'll tell you what. You guys
Cool
are.
burgers.
You guys are amazing. All right. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are taking care of each other and bringing baseball to the community. We couldn't be happier to partner with y'all. And have a good day. Hopefully, Smokey Joe Williams, everything's
guys.
coming online.
Yeah.
Text, call if
Let's
you
look
need
at
anything
maybe
from
getting
us.
lunch. Let's maybe look at getting lunch soon again at Johnny's Barbecue.
Oh, yes. Johnny's Barbecue. Get the fish. Everybody knows. All right, gentlemen. Have a good
All
day.
right, guys.
Nice talking to you guys.
All right.
See you later.
Have a good one.
Bye. Let's see here if we can get that. Yeah.
Had to click.
What do you think, Dutch? Does that deserve some we need like caller music?
Is that the?
Well, that's the intro.
Or,
But I
it
feel like
works both ways.
I feel like that call went so good. You got to bump it out with. Technically, that's where we'd go to commercial. Buy your shoes at Vogue Shoes.
go to your
best
restaurant real
footwear you
quick,
can
get
ever
something
get.
to drink, come back.
Yeah, I got a sausage sandwich sitting over here. I just like playing with the coming up on. It's just beautiful brass section on that mariachi stuff there. What do you think, bud? You psyched?
Yeah.
All kinds of
Good.
great ideas. I forgot to mention the pigeons flying around with tickets.
We can, I think, like, if we buy some merch and then
Yeah.
just give it away for free, like free giveaway night.
Yeah.
Not like everybody comes in and gets this, but like have a drawing or something, like a raffle. So like that'll bring money in.
Yeah.
We're gonna raffle off, and whoever wins gets a free shirt and hat or whatever, And after every home game win, shotgun and natty.
I think you're shotgunning a natty. I think I'm going to do a family package just so I have the 4 tickets always as technically as bribes. Like, so when I get pulled over, by Border Patrol and I'm slammed into the ground and I'm cuffed, dogs sniffing the car,
and I'm like being held back.
You're being held back.
I can't help
you're
you.
getting tased. You're probably like zip tied. And then they pull out this huge brick, of Japanese baseball cards. It's like, where'd you get this? This is not allowed. This is not allowed over the border. You got to declare Japanese Korean baseball cards. And I was
sir,
like,
I didn't put that in there.
I don't know what that is. And they're like, you boys are going away for a long, long time.
I didn't put that in my car.
I was like, I don't.
It was planted there. It's planted.
And I go, you know what? There's maybe if you there's a couple 4 Seguin River Monster tickets sitting there on the dashboard. Maybe instead you guys found those instead of that brick of Japanese baseball cards. And then the Border Patrol guy starts thinking about it. He's like, yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did find these 4 tickets instead of these illegal baseball cards. And next thing you know, we're off and free. They just cut those zip ties right off, and
watch out for the warning. Take off.
That's
They'll
right.
come back through this town again. Little do they know.
Get yourself out of trouble. Some of them river monsters. It's a hot ticket.
Little do they know, though, we're turning right around on the next exit and coming back into town.
I got to keep the flow of Korean baseball cards and Japanese baseball cards into San Antonio, as I am the #1 underground dealer. Well, I think that tech went good. The funny part is, for anybody watching on YouTube, like, let's say there's like one guy in
my wife is watching.
Well, she's
just
watching,
texted
but
me.
she's
Yeah.
like, okay, I couldn't hear a effing thing.
That's what she said. Yeah, she
But
couldn't hear the phone call.
our one German listener is like, okay, this is awesome. This is what I've been waiting for, this live stream. And then all of a sudden just goes silent. We're just like have a one-sided conversation. I can't hear a thing. But it's good now. Our Logitech. And it's probably not getting the bump music either. It would make sense. We'd have to plug in the speakers for the bump music. But let's highlight a couple Seguin River monsters and then roll into some UTSA disrespect and their series win up in Tennessee. And I can't say the name of that town, but I think it's Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro, some shit.
Murfreesboro, but they went up there, took 2 out of 3 because they're just knocking out these series wins. Mo Steph Malone and slamming Sammy Diaz, Mi Vida Loca, Johnny Tapia, just killing it. Just a great ball club. But here's what I noticed. I really liked, if you look at the innings, and if I could find the, you got the Islanders. I got to find, oh no. Where is, they got the Hillsborough College guys down there in Florida. I can't find. I got the Houston. Where's the Hillsborough? They got a great field, and I think this is it right here. No. Well, if I remember it correctly, I'm just going to go from memory, frankly. Oh, here's one we'll feature. This is what we need to talk about. Let's just talk a little bit about Cade Brewer. Couldn't find your stats, bud, but I did find that you are a National Honor Society 4-year member. And I'd like to tip my cap
Smart dude.
to one of the catchers at the Seguin River Monsters because I was not a 4-year member of the National Honor Society. I think I rolled
You
out.
got to get your shit together.
I think I rolled out of high school with a 2.1. I'm not sure what it was. And funny thing about that, my sister told me later that she goes, I think you maybe didn't graduate high school. And I was like, really? She says, yeah, I think you had like an incomplete or something, but Dad was so pissed that they were going to like mess up your baseball scholarships that he was like threatening to sue. God bless my dad. I love him, but he was a litigious man. And apparently the high school took that threat quite seriously. And then I graduated from high school. What do you think of that? What do you think of those low expectations?
I think they were matched with. I mean, you're an athlete, so like school, I don't think was your focus.
Yeah, gotta go to Lassen Junior College. Shout out to the Cougs.
Go Cougars!
I'll tell you what. So yeah, Cade Brewer's a genius. That's one guy, but it was the Hillsboro guys, and I had all the stats pulled up. Yes, I did, but I can't find them right now. But I believe the River Monster by the name of Matthew Johnson might have like 53. Like he's leading the team in innings. The guy's a workhorse down there. Guy's a workhorse.
That's my dude right there from Tampa. What
Yeah,
up?
some of these guys, and then some of the other players, like I said, are redshirt freshmen. You don't really have a whole lot on them. So I'm looking at different numbers. Some of the players we got from Olu are some pretty good hitters too. I saw some good numbers in there. But trying to scrap together stats of a college summer baseball team when you got guys from like 15 different colleges is a little bit of an undertaking.
I started doing that last night,
for organization.
and I got halfway in. I'm like, done. I was like, fuck, I haven't done the pitchers yet. Like I was doing the infielders, I did the outfilders, and I got down to the pitchers. I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I kind of want to go sleep.
I know you get worn out, but like one of the guys, like our outfield, I think it was Jose Gutierrez, was drafted by the Guardians, Clarendon College. But you go to Clarendon College, it's like I can't even find your stats, man. So and it's a junior college, St. Mary's. Here's the St. Mary's guys. We have a handful of players from St. Mary's, and I'll show you the guy that I believe has pretty good numbers, but. This is the best part of the podcast when we're looking on the internet. But our St. Mary's guy is Jacob Elizondo, sophomore. And now if I go to St. Mary's...
You're looking at the same person I am at the same time. Pull up the stats.
Yeah, trying to find Elizondo, but...
Because a lot of these guys are freshmen in college, so their stats aren't going to be
pitching.
there.
But, I like some of these. Jacob Elizondo's hitting 317. Okay.
But, like, I will say that
10 doubles.
Seguin won't sign anybody that's not a stud. So these are all studs.
These guys are great. They're all working on their game.
Yeah.
I'll be happy,
That's what's cool about summer college leagues is they stay in shape, right?
Yeah, man. I remember, all
And
the
it's not
things
like
you're trying to
they're
work
gonna
on.
come in and half-ass it. They're gonna like play hard.
This is one thing I would say. I like that the leadership out there got those guys that gym access, because I think we had gym access too. And I would be disingenuous. If I didn't tell you that I drank a lot of beer in summer baseball.
I would have.
That was a big party. As a young man, you're away from the folks. You're with a bunch of dudes, and you're probably not married at this point, so you're looking for gals or whatever you're doing, and you want to win the game, and then you want to go out and you want to party. So my advice is don't get into trouble. Keep it to a reasonable modicum. But the best time, if you remember, did you ever watch that? I forget, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
No, I haven't watched that documentary.
Okay. That's neither here nor there. But the one interesting thing about it was Dennis Rodman's kind of like lifestyle and workout regimen. And Jordan was essentially like, dude, I ain't got any problem with Rodman. Rodman wants to go party, show up in Vegas, whatever. Because he was doing this like in the middle of the season. Like he'd show up in the newspaper. He's like, didn't you play in Detroit last night? How are you in Vegas the next day? But whatever his schedule was, he was always there for the game, and he always played his ass off. And the reason he played his ass off, because as soon as the game was over, he would go hit the gym for another hour of cardio and lifting weights. So, like, everybody else after the game showering, getting ready to go home, he's like, I'm just going to, like, an NBA game is hard enough for cardio. I'm just going to add more cardio and work out some more, right back to back with a game. So it was like that dude was in such amazing condition. He's like, well, now I can party because conditioning's not going to be an issue for me because I can just go forever. So that was like Rodman's schedule. And for these dudes, lifting weights tightens up the muscles. So really the best time to get your reps in is after the game. You want to lift before the game. It'll F up all your coordination. So go eat your protein, River Monsters. Go jack some steel if the gym is open late.
Eat some Wheaties.
And then, I'm sure there'll be team parties.
Can't forget the Wheaties.
You can't ignore that part of the lifestyle. Just don't get into trouble, boys.
Speaking of being drinking and playing sports, my friends and I, We used to drink beer and play football at this park where I used to live close by.
Would anybody ever throw up if you get like a perfect form tackle?
There was sometimes where like I'd be running and I'd be all out of breath. I go drink a beer. I'm like, I probably should be doing this, but I'm thirsty.
All right, I got to share a story.
What's that?
You know, I got these random stories.
You have tons of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is what
around.
This is what this story made me think of. So
My story?
No, yeah, your story.
Oh, about the playing.
Drinking beer and playing football.
Okay.
And I don't know how this worked, but I mentioned this one time to a buddy of mine. He goes, "You know what? That's absolutely true." So Pacific Northwest, it's always rainy. It's always wet. And when you're in middle school or whatever, I don't know how we got where we got in town. If it was just like riding bikes over to some other neighborhood, and all the kids would get together and we would play football. And usually it was one of those like foam Nerf footballs. And invariably it was just some park, like grass field that wasn't really a field. And everything's wet. There's a lot of leaves. And a lot of dudes had, of course, Seattle, you got sweatpants. And it was always somebody with the blue Seahawks sweatpants who would get tackled into dog shit. And then they'd get up, you play a couple more downs before everybody starts smelling it. And you're like, dude, I think you got tackled into dog shit. And then the person who gets tackled into dog shit initially never wants to believe it's true. They're like, no, dude, that's just mud.
It's dirt.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, that's just mud. And then, you know, a couple people start like trying to get away. It's like, no, bro, you gotta go home, man. That's dog shit. And then the realization that they have to go home to change their pants and they're out of the game because they got tackled into dog shit in their Seahawks sweatpants happened every single time I ever played park football with my buddies as a kid. And I don't know if Jacobson's listening, but I want to say I remember Casey Piercy got tackled into dog shit. I could be wrong. Anyway.
I've stepped in dog shit almost every day of my life.
Did you guys have dogs?
No, because what it was like at this, well, not my house, but at the park, going back to that story, it was like an open park, so there was dogs everywhere. But now in my house in Dallas, we had at one point had 4 dogs. So, but also I was trying to say that stepping in dog shit every day is a metaphor about how I feel about life. Every day something comes up and you're just stepping in shit.
That's true.
You know?
I'd rather step it than get tackled in it. But it was never on your elbow or arm. It was always a perfect smear, like somewhere on the back thigh.
On your leg.
They had to be kind of like baby blue or blue Seahawks sweatpants every frickin' time.
I'd often get it on my leg sometimes.
I'll tell you, tackled into dog shit. It's classic.
The worst though is when you step
activity.
in it, you have no idea. You start walking around, you're like, it kind of smells like shit in here.
And
then you look down on your shoe and you realize you just
scraped
dog shit throughout the whole house.
Yeah,
you're
is.
Fuck.
It's it's like I don't know. Like you always played like 2 or 3 more downs. Like you noticed it, like because we were getting all muddy. Anyway, but you're like, that one looks a little bit more kind of orangey. That mud looks a little bit more orangey, and it's starting to stink. I think maybe you got tackled into dog shit. So here's UTSA at Middle Tennessee. And I can't remember if that's where Terrell Owens went, but he went to one of those.
I think he went to Chattanooga.
Did he?
Right?
Yeah, I think maybe you're right. He went to Chattanooga, Tennessee. But at Middle Tennessee, which is Conference USA conference game, UTSA takes first game Friday. 13-2, handily. Second game, 12-4. And I was watching this on Twitter. I was like, man, they're just taking it to Middle Tennessee. They're about to sweep this series. They lose 1-2. The box score for Sunday, if I'm looking at it, I mean, the pitcher here from Middle Tennessee, Jaden Ham, goes 7 innings of 0-run ball. That's
wild.
If you're shutting down the UTSA lineup, Tapia still goes 2 for 4. If you're shutting down the UTSA lineup, that's just a good pitching performance, and you got to tip your cap there.
Plus, they didn't want to get blown out again, 12-4. So they're like, fuck this.
Yeah, but
play a lot better.
If you can go back and look to the 12, because I think Malone went. He normally goes on Friday, but I think they put him on Saturday, and Malone goes 6 2/3, a 3-run ball, only 1 walk, 5 Ks, and I think he gets another W. So Malone is 7-1. Unreal.
Once again, Ian Bailey had a great game.
Ian Bailey is
He went
up to
3 for
12 ding dongs.
He went 3 for 6 that game on
I think
Saturday.
he had a homer in that game too. He's up at 11. Bailey's having a great season. What a pickup.
Yeah.
Who else?
Because I feel like this dude, like every game, like the stats we look up, he's always batting like 500 or something.
That's interesting. So Josh Kleen caught that game. He caught that game with Luke Malone, and I was trying to get Mostef Malone and Sammy Diaz on some NIL contract interviews, just because I think that'd be interesting interesting conversation to have with the pitcher and catcher and that dynamic. But Sammy Diaz was DH in that game, so Killeen catching with Luke Malone. But interesting to talk to those guys. But it's finals week, right? So they're just like us. They're just like getting slammed with stuff. He's like, not a good week. I totally get it. Respect what you guys are doing. And then, but yeah, look at that game. Josh Killeen, the catcher, comes in, goes 4 for 5 with 4 bibbies. Isaiah Walker's playing center. That guy can play. 2 for 3, 2 runs, slamming Sammy Diaz. 2 for 6. I think Diaz hit a homer too. Let me get there. Bailey, Killeen hit a dinger. Killeen's got 3 dingers. Let's go back to Friday's game, completely wrap it up, and then I'll talk about why in tarnation are these guys ranked 47th by somebody. It's just disrespectful.
Is it though?
I think so. I think you got to call everything disrespect. Just motivate yourself.
Oh yeah, of course. You're always gonna feel like you should be ranked higher than you are. But I mean, they're good. They've only their record overall is 30 and 14. So it's not like they're barely over 500. They're like.
Nah, I mean UTSA is.
They got a
strong.
68% winning percentage. So I mean.
Yeah, UTSA is. UTSA is a good ball club for sure. I think.
And it's crazy
I
too.
think
that
based
like,
on because they beat Stanford earlier in the year. Look at the schedule.
You know what's crazy too is people that I know that go there. I try to talk about baseball with them. Like, oh, I had no idea we had a good team. I was like, do you not pay attention to your sports?
I mean, so you beat number 7 Texas State. That's 7th ranked team. You beat them at home. You split with them, and then here's all you played them. You beat supposedly number 2 out of 3, number 29 Old Dominion. You swept number 23 Charlotte. You beat number 11 TCU. I mean, these are the rankings at the time. Okay, and let me go back to number 2 Stanford in 10 innings. You win. I mean that's number 14 that got postponed, but I mean that's a pretty good. Let's go your record against ranked teams. Let's go here to the Stanford game. What happened to that? 1-0. Then number 23 Charlotte comes in, sweep them. You're 4-0 against ranked teams. Play number 29, or at least nationally ranked. So now you're 6-1 against ranked teams. Then you drop 1 to Texas State. You're 6-2. Then Texas State comes back down. They're 7th in the nation. You're 7-2 against top 30 teams, and you're 47th in the nation. Explain that one.
It's just like college football. They always look at the quality of win versus total wins.
Well, they got some good quality wins, so I think they're getting whoever that guy is making that college website needs to, wake up.
Because they do that in college
smell the
football all the
coffee on that one.
time. Like they'll have a team, like say a team that has 2 losses, they'll be ranked higher than a team with no losses because the team that has no losses has played shittier competition, which makes no sense.
Makes no sense. But
I'm sure that's what they're looking at here is like maybe like the competition.
Man, that's good competition though, right?
Well, I mean, you play Stanford,
Texas State. All right, let's look at numbers here. Big Nasty Serdashny hitting 357. And then you got Leighton Berry hitting 346, Slammin' Sammy 333, Chase Kang's hitting 315, Ian Bailey 314 with 11 ding-a-dings. Look at Chase Kang with 47 bibs, leading the team in bibbies. Tapia's having a great year, really is, leading the team at doubles with 5 homers. His on base is great. Look at Chase King. Oh no, that's slugging. Where's the highest on base? It's got to be. You got Sammy Diaz, 439. 479, Big Nasty Stradashny. Poston's over 300 now. Look at these base on balls. 26, Poston. Poston's getting on base.
Luke
for you.
Malone is, as of April 1st, is 7-1.
7-1.
Or May 1st, I'm sorry. As of May 1st.
Sub 2 ERA. Craziest thing about Malone's stats is his base on balls.
I'm shocked that he's not talked about more, like in baseball teams.
There was a cool I think it was like Texas College Baseball posted like they made a baseball card of Luke Malone. He was like maybe like
I saw
player
that.
of the-
Yeah.
But I mean, 63 innings pitched, 11 base on balls is insanely good control. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep promoting those guys and the River Monsters, and now we can talk because we didn't even tease the music. We didn't even tease the music, bud.
No.
What do we got? What's our time limit? We're killing it. We're at an hour and 15, buddy. We can start talking UFOs. Or we could talk the real life legend of the, accounts of the actual Seguin River monster. And what happened to me one time when I was out there.
What happened? Never been to Seguin, actually.
Seguin's great. Guadalupe River goes right through
Yeah,
there.
I saw that.
There's plenty of swimming holes. Are you familiar with the Loch Ness monster?
Yes, that big ass fucking creature thing.
That looks like, some people believe that it is, like a prehistoric dinosaur swimming around down there. The Seguin River monster, and you've seen the logo of the fish. The Seguin River monster is basically, I believe it to be a Komodo dragon that has been released into the Guadalupe River between a couple dam checkpoints and has grown to a certain size and become aquatic and now just eats people.
I saw this picture when I typed in Seguin River Monster to look up research, and it was like giant ass fucking snake.
Oh, well, there's plenty of big water
It must
moccasins
have been
out there.
like, I don't know, like 25 feet or something. It was like huge.
So if I'm doing a cannonball after a home win down there at Starkey Park, that just means I'm fearless and balls of steel because I could be eaten at any
But those
minute.
river monsters aren't going to hurt you anyway.
You don't think?
They'll just swim by you. Yeah, I'm positive. I'm like 99% positive.
Let's see here. The other thing I would like to look at is the Conference USA statistics, because the way the NCAA tournament, because we with the postseason, college postseason is nigh, it is upon us, and if we look at the Conference USA baseball statistics, we'll be able to take a look at, because you get an automatic, just like hoops, you get an automatic bid, you win the conference
Yeah.
in the postseason, but then there's like the seeding. Conference USA baseball, and we can kind of take a look at the standings here, and you got Southern Miss is on top. Actually, it's 17-4 in conference play. UTSA and La Tech are tied for second at 14-7, and you got Charlotte, Western Kentucky, Rice, Marshall, UAB, Charlotte's, FIU, Middle Tennessee. We just got done with that series. So, at large bid for a team like UTSA is going to happen. You just got to come out. You got to be the team that wins your regional, so you can go to the super regionals, and then on to Omaha. But I'm not exactly sure when.
Because UTSA is only 3 games back of the conference lead, so.
Yeah, I don't.
They're right there.
Yeah, they're there. I don't know if you necessarily have to sweat. I think they're a postseason. I think they're a postseason team. But we got how many games left?
I didn't realize that Louisiana Tech had a good team either.
Louisiana Tech's been pretty good at sports for quite some time, in my recollection. So you got University of Texas Rio Grande, and then you got 3 at Marshall. That's conference, and then 3 in Hattiesburg. That'll be a big series because that might play out who wins Conference USA in the middle of May when UTSA goes down there. So you got some big conference games coming up with Marshall and Southern Miss, and then UAB. So it's basically 9 conference games. You got 10 games left in the season. 9 of them are conference. 9 conference games, and then just like a midweek with UTEX Rio Grande on a Tuesday. So that'll be interesting. Watch what comes down with UTSA, and then you get right into the postseason at the end of May. Everybody should be done with classes. It's summer baseball or postseason. Let's see how UAB is, because I believe go back to the rankings. I think we used to play UAB because it was like Sun Belt. Everybody always moved around. South Alabama was Sun Belt when we played UAB. But UAB's 500 ball club.
So is like,
or at least conference 500. They're a winning ball club. That was good baseball in the USA Conference.
Marshall used to be in the MAC. I don't know if that's still a thing.
They're always moving it around. But it's college baseball. Road to Omaha. I don't know if we'll ever get up to College World Series, but man, that's a good time to eat some funnel cakes.
I've also decided, speaking of college baseball, I've also decided to adopt a team.
Well, you're a Texas State man.
Yeah.
Well, you just root Texas generally, but
I decided I've had a random liking to the Ole Miss baseball for some reason.
Ole Miss running Rebs.
I was watching their game at work on break, right? I was like, interesting. This is cool.
They got a cool ballpark there. I actually took a recruiting trip to Ole Miss.
I think it'd be cool. So that'll be one of the teams I'll root for in baseball is Ole Miss.
SEC is great baseball.
I'm calling it right here.
Yep.
Not my favorite team, but they're up there now. So.
Yeah, they're good. I'm trying to remember how that recruiting trip went. So my junior college coach.
They said you're too good to come here. Go somewhere else. Be better off.
So my junior college coach at Lassen in California was really a great coach, and he himself was a recruit. When you're like looking at who's going to be your next Division I coach, he was given a lot of job offers by Division I. And the way Coach Abney thought is, look, I want to win a national championship, and to do that, the SEC, Southeastern Conference, was at that time, and I believe still probably considered the best baseball conference. So he was kind of waiting for a job offer from the SEC to come in. He was the fastest coach in California junior college history to win like 300 games or something crazy. Like the dude was way hard on you, but you were good. So they said, okay, you're going to Ole Miss next year. So my freshman year, and you usually get recruited your sophomore year. So like, where are you going to go when you're a junior? Where are you going to go next year? So they flew me and a guy down, this pitcher, kind of a middle relief guy who was just unhittable, this sidearm guy, Patera. We almost missed the plane. We changed planes.
For your recruiting trip?
Yeah, so we flew Susanville. You fly out of Reno, and to get to Oxford, Mississippi, you had to somehow we changed planes. We went from Reno to like Minneapolis, and Minneapolis to Memphis. And then like somebody was going to like pick us up and take us down to Oxford or however that went. And there's the time change. We're dumb kids. So we go from whatever Pacific time to Central time in Minneapolis. And we're sitting there playing Miss Pac-Man, I believe. I think it was Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. Completely oblivious to the hour time change. And then we hear over the speakers our names, like last call, we're closing the doors, and we're like, oh shit, that's our plane. So we actually almost missed the plane. We made it down there. I think it was great. We just partied and drank, a bunch of Ole Miss players. I will say this about the recruiting trip. I think I got had a great time, partied and drank. I committed, said I'm coming, because I was under the belief that it was a full tuition scholarship, which is what you need as an outfielder. And then whatever, I had to call, I think like the main ones were like Texas Tech and Western Kentucky was also recruiting. I go, I'm going to Ole Miss. So you think you guys need to know that. So you're not like holding on to scholarships for me when I'm going here. And they're like, okay, cool. Thanks for letting us know. And they signed a couple other outfielders, those colleges. And then I come to find out, they're like, yeah, dude, you're not getting a full tuition scholarship. You're only getting in-state. Well, out-of-state tuition's freaking expensive. So I was like, well, shit, I can't go there now because I can't do out-of-state tuition. I can't pay that.
You still living in Seattle at this time, right?
No, I was playing junior college in Northern California at this time.
Oh, so you're in California.
So I was a JUCO guy. So then, because the deal changed, I couldn't go to Ole Miss after I verbally committed and turned off all these other schools. And then I didn't have any fucking scholarship offers. So I went to Schenectady summer baseball with where I had nowhere to go for my junior year. And at the very last second, I got on with the University of South Alabama, the Jaguars. Hooked me up. And then I went out down there and flamed out.
Why do you say that?
D1. Well, you come in, you're like some sort of hot shit JUCO All-American or whatever. They think you're going to be the world beater, and I was mediocre at best. And I had some issues in the outfield with errors. I was kind of a head case at that point. And then, I guess I didn't hit that. But I was like, hit over 300. But I didn't have the season I wanted to have. And they go, dude, you can come back your senior year on the same scholarship deal. They were cool. I'll tip my cap to. Oh my God, my thing broke.
You're breaking equipment.
I don't even know how that works. But Coach Kittrell goes.
Now
He
you
goes,
just gotta hold the whole mic.
I've been
the whole
trying to
time.
screw it together this whole time. It's just like the threads don't work. But Coach Kittrell was like, hey, you can come back on the same scholarship deal, but I'm just letting you know we're bringing in a dude who's pretty awesome, and you're going to really have to compete we got a lot of good outfielders here. A lot of dudes are probably getting drafted. You really have to compete for that starting outfield spot next year, your senior year, and you might want to go somewhere where you're going to get a lot of playing time so you can get a look if you ever think you're going to get drafted. I was like, all right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate the honesty. So called around, ended up landing at Lubbock Christian for my senior year. But guess who they brought in, the guy they were talking about?
Who's that?
And, yes, I wouldn't have started over this guy. A young man by the name of Juan Pierre, who went on to a very long Major League Baseball career. He set some kind of like junior college record for stolen bases in Alabama, and then went to University of South Alabama. Went on, so I probably was like the 17th best outfielder. There's so many good
I remember
athletes
him on
at
the
South
Marlins.
Alabama. Yeah,
He played for the Miami.
he was a great leadoff man. He could bunt, he could
Yeah,
run, he could
he's
do it
fast.
all. Great guy. So
You
yeah,
always had those pants hiked up.
grateful for my time at South Alabama, but I was definitely a head case my 1 year in Division I. But the cool thing about D1 was I got to play against some pretty amazing guys because that's where I saw Nakamura, who went on to the Japanese leagues fame.
Who also played, I believe, for the Rays. He was like a shortstop.
Oh, no,
Second
Mike
base?
Nakamura was a pitcher.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other guy.
He
Aki.
was-
I think his name was Aki Nakamura or something. Some weird.
Nakamura was that guy I was telling you about who was Australian, but he was 100% full-blooded Japanese guy. Like his dad moved from Japan to Australia and opened up like a sporting goods store or something. So both his parents were Japanese. He's full-blooded Japanese dude, but he talked like Crocodile Dundee. It blew your frickin' mind.
So it's not a Noff?
Yeah, he talked exactly like that, and he was on the Australian Olympic team for the Atlanta Olympics, and then he got signed a huge free agent deal with the Twins, actually made it to the show, got totally rocked. Like, he got totally rocked, like, in his, like, half Major League Baseball season. He got released and then picked up in the NPB and played in Japan. I think he set some kind of, like, Japanese World Series record for saves. He was, like, a crazy, insane closer a couple years with the Yomiuri Giants.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking of Akinori, or what's his, Amawara, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The guy for Tampa Bay. I thought it was that guy. I can't pronounce his name too well. But that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, no, D1, that was the cool part about South Alabama. You got to play with these dudes like Naki, and then Mike Fisher was the first pick of the second round. He really came on. He was a really good pitcher for South Alabama. Rayborn was drafted. Terrell Demon Deason. I don't know, man. There's some good dudes on that team, and I wasn't one of them. So
Did you ever, like, when you realized you weren't going to get drafted, did you ever, like, try to go to, like, tryouts and stuff?
I did. So my pro career as recorded by Baseball Reference was I didn't get drafted, and then I went up to Canada to like visit my girlfriend at the time for a couple of weeks and eat Tim Horton donuts. And then when I came back to Lubbock, I was like, well, shit, I don't have eligibility. I better do something. I think I was like applying to get jobs at Barnes and Nobles because I liked books. I was like, maybe I'll get discounts on books. And I went up to the field, and my coach was up there, Darren Hayes from Lubbock Christian. He's like, "Hey, dude, where have you been?" I go, "I was in Canada." He goes, "Well, go down to the ballpark. They need an outfielder for a 3-game set in Mississippi, or a 4-game set in Mississippi against the Greensville Bluesmen." And he goes, "I told the coach about you. I told him I got an outfielder who's just sitting around doing nothing, and if you need an outfielder, this dude can catch a fly ball." So. Because I did pretty good at Lubbock Christian. It was a totally different headspace for me than South Alabama. I had a good year. I think I might have been all conference. I don't think I was an NAIA All-American, which is different, but I had a good year. So anyway, I go down to the stadium, much like Smokey Joe Williams Stadium, but they played at like Texas Tech's ballpark. The Lubbock Crickets did. Manager's there. He's like, "All right, here's the deal. We're going to Greensville for 4 games. I'm going to sign you below league minimum," which was like fucking league minimum was $600 a month. He goes, I'm going to sign you for $500 a month. You're going to go play 4 games, come back. I'm going to release you, and then you can go work at McDonald's or whatever you're going to do. I think his name was Nick Lowry. He was a cool guy. He was a player manager.
Made a little bit of money, I guess.
Well, I was like, shit, I'm not doing anything this
Yeah.
week. You know, I'm sitting around
Paycheck.
playing PlayStation or whatever. So, yeah, hell yeah, play professional baseball. So, paid to play. I mean, I can just brag about it now.
What team was that?
It was the Lubbock Crickets.
Lubbock Crickets.
And so there was some
was
dude,
Buddy Holly the manager?
Buddy Holly. Well, that's why they were doing that, because he's,
Oh yeah, that's what I was
he's
thinking. I was
from
like,
Lubbock. So that's
Buddy
like,
Holly and the Crickets.
yeah, it's like they're from Lubbock, so that's like Lubbock's claim, one of their claim to fames anyway, that Buddy Holly was from there, and he's this great rocker. So we were the Lubbock Crickets, but we had a silly little cricket on our hat. We had a pretty lame uniforms. I think anybody would
Sometimes
agree.
I feel like teams don't have an idea what the name of the team states. Look around. Okay, we're the New Jersey carpet dingies.
You know, they got like the trash pandas, and they're coming up
That's
with
cool
fun
though.
stuff.
That's cool though.
But yeah, they went local. They went with local lore. So we were the Lubbock Crickets, and we go to Greensville. And here's what I'll say about the Greensville Bluesman Stadium.
What's that?
Awful.
Why
It
is
was unbelievable experience. First of all, there's so many mosquitoes at whatever fucking stadium that was, and I found it on Google Maps one time, and I know I could find it on Google Maps because there's a goddamn drag racing stick
You can find
strip.
anything on Google Maps.
Yeah, but I
Anything.
there was like a number of baseball fields in that town. There's a drag racing, like cars drag racing off the corner of right field. And then there were so many mosquitoes that they would have a truck drive around the field every 3 innings and spray like mosquito poison mist into the sky, which really only just made them mad.
That's
Then they just
terrible.
start flying. It was so bad. It was
That's
and
real
the
tacky too.
well, it was the Greensville Blues series was unbelievable. I think I hit okay. I made a couple of decent plays in the outfield, and I absolutely hosed a guy at the plate by like 4 or 5 steps. He was on second. He was trying to score on a single, and I just came up gunning from right. It just on a hop, absolutely dead to rights by like 4 steps, except the catcher was too fast trying to grab the ball and swipe the tag. And so he like pulled off, and it bounced off the lips of his catcher mitt, and the catcher dropped the ball. So the runner was like starting to run back to third because he was like so out. He's like breaking down his stride. He's like, I'm not even going to try to score. I'm going to go back to third. And then the catcher muffed it, and then the dude's like, oh, I'll just walk home. But as I was getting on the bus, this is such a great moment in my life.
They do have your stats on here.
Yeah,
1998.
that's right. And it's got my pitch. It's got my pitching stats on there too.
Because like I know like your middle name is Ernie, so I was like, does he go by his first name or his middle name? And I typed in your first name.
Yeah, they didn't even spell it right. As so many random stories. I kind of want to write a short story about my summer with the Crickets
I
because
was looking at your pitching stats. I'm not laughing because you said you were an okay pitcher, right?
no. But that I can explain that. I can explain my 18.
Yeah, so I was like, holy 18 ERA, that's high, buddy.
I pitched 1 inning and gave up a 2-run homer, but it was like
ERA sometimes misleading though.
well, no, I mean I was an outfielder, so it was a blowout, and we didn't want to use our
I see.
pitching
Here
staff.
we go. Yeah, innings pitched 1, ERA 2.
so- But
It's not bad.
I'm getting back on the bus after the Greensville series. Oh, and the other thing random about the Greensville series is every like the third, let's say like between the 3rd and the 4th, and between like the 6th.
Hey, you had 2 RBIs.
If you would have asked me after like my first 6 games, I was hitting like 356, and then I couldn't hit the rest of the year. But they had the Laker girls dancing in Greensville, Mississippi, between like the 3rd and 4th inning, and then like the 6th and whatever. They were like they would come out on the infield grass and then dance around with their like Laker girls routine, and then take off. And then we were staying in some shithole Ramada, and the Laker girls were also in that hotel, and we were like, of course, we're gonna talk to the Laker girls, right? We're like, this can't be the actual Laker girls, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's L.A. That's like prime time. What are you doing? And we talked to him, and it was like the minor leagues of the Laker girls. It wasn't even like when it wasn't even double A minor. I think the Laker girls had like 3 tiers. There's like the ones you see at the NBA game, and there's like
Right.
a travel squad, and then there's like the rookie league Laker girls, and I think the rookie league Laker girls were dancing in the Tex Law League. That was a mind blower. But so anyway, I get on the bus, and Coach Lowry sits right in that front seat there. He goes, "You know what, Granville? You're not so bad. I think I'm just going to keep you around." So I was so psyched on the 21-hour drive back to Lubbock. I was like, sweet, I got a job this summer. I got to hang out with these guys. So I would. I just go to the park, play some Donkey Kong in the Texas Tech clubhouse, make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, take some batting practice, and then like go in as a pinch runner in the 7th inning. And that was my pro career. But yeah, that the ERA came from
It was like 18, but it didn't make sense because it didn't show like your stats. It shows 1 inning pitched and
it was
two,
like
2 runs.
We're playing. I want to say it's the Rio Grande Valley was like the White Wings. It was a weird name, but the Rio Grande Valley White Wings was in the Tex Law League, and it was a huge blowout. We're losing by like 15 runs. So coach is like, I don't want to fucking use up pitchers. Who here wants to throw an inning? They're like, Granville, did you pitch? I was like, well, I pitched in high school, but that was like, 4 or 5 years ago. They're like, all right, we'll go get warm, see if you can still roll over the curveball. So, I mean, I fucking probably throw 75, 80 miles an hour or whatever with a high school curveball. So I'm warming up. I'm all pumped. And I go in, and you got to understand the Tex Law League was a smattering of dudes. You had guys like me that were out of college, but you also had dudes that were like released from AAA. Like there were some really good players in that league. And the Rio Grande, and I'll have to look it up later, Rio Grande Valley White Wings center fielder was awesome. I think he was AAA with the Astros, and the only reason he was in that league is maybe he had it in his head that he was so awesome that he should be in Major League Baseball, and he had an attitude problem. And I think the rumor I heard, I don't know if it's true or not because I never met the guy, is he got released for just being a head case, like an attitude problem. But he was awesome, and he would, as a center fielder, like he'd hit homers and all this stuff, but he had a cannon for an arm, and he would like tease you from center, like go try to run to third. Like he wouldn't throw it in. He wouldn't throw it in the infield. Like there was the outfielders like get the ball in. He's like, no, dude, go. I dare you to go to third. Like he would just like he would pick up a single and be like, if there's like runners advancing, like rounding second, he's like, no, go. Like he was that, and like if you did, he'd throw a laser beam and you'd be out. Like he'd just tease you, but he'd also crush homers. So I think I like got a couple outs on some ground balls, and then I like walked that guy. I was like, I'm just not going to throw him a strike, and he knew. I was like, I'm not throwing you anything near the fucking plate because you're going to hit it a mile. Yeah. So I was just throwing like curveballs like 2 feet off a plate, and he was pissed. Like he was like in the batter's box, like staring me down angry. He's like, you're such a puss. You're not throwing to me. I was like, no, because I don't want to give a fucking homer.
Yeah.
And so then
call me what you want.
And it's not like the next batter was shitty either because he's probably like the 5-hole or 4-hole guy who's backing that guy up. And so I was just trying to keep everything off the plate. And that was kind of a porch, but it was like he didn't care if I was throwing it outside. He just flicked an opposite field home run. So the guy that I walked, who was the awesome center fielder, and that guy, 2-run dinger.
I love it when batters get pissed that you're not pitching to him. It's like, what do you expect?
I wasn't gonna get anywhere near the plate. But anyway, so that was 2-run dinger, and I think I got like ground ball and got out of it. So that's my 18 earned run average. And then I was just like a utility guy.
Hey, at least it wasn't 20.
But hey, I got paid to play. Oh,
yeah.
And the
so
other
technically you were a professional baseball player.
Professional baseball player, and I have my one bragging right. So they did all kinds of funny stuff in the independent leagues where they would just like bring in a pitcher, sign him to a contract, and he'd throw in that game that day for like 3 innings, and then they'd release him. Like, I don't know where these dudes are traveling from or how management was finding them, but you had guys that were just like in and out of the clubhouse for like a day or two, a game or two, and then they were gone. And so I go to the field one day. Coach Lowry goes, hey, dude, I'm releasing you, but I'm releasing you for the next 2 games, but still come to the ballpark, throw in uniform, take batting practice and stuff. I'm signing a pitcher, and we have these roster rules. So I'm just signing this guy for these 2 games. We're going to use him for 2 games, and then we're going to release him, and then we're going to re-sign you. I was like, all right, that's cool. So I just showed up at the ballpark for 2 days, warmed up the right fielder, took batting practice, but I wasn't technically on the roster. So then that pitcher pitches a couple games. They release him, and then they have to turn their contracts into the league. So he's got the form contract, which is a fill-in-the-blank contract to re-sign me, and I go, he's like, how much were we paying you, Granville?
$1,000.
I go, well, technically you're paying me 100 below league minimum, which was 500 a month, but there's only like 3 weeks left in the season, so it would be cool if I could make the league minimum, which was $600 a month. And he just goes, God, you're fucking killing me. And he filled in 600, and I was so pumped. I was like, yes. So then I called my buddy. I go, dude, I renegotiated my contract.
Oh shit! So I tell people, yeah, Ernie played technically professional baseball.
Technically professional baseball. Texas Law League was, and my only claim to fame was I hit a bases loaded double off the guy who was like going to be on Letterman's show for throwing a perfect game after being, traded for 10,000 pounds of catfish. But that guy was a pretty good pitcher. But that was like maybe my best hit. But I just didn't play that much, and that, like I couldn't even get a bat. Like I was hitting with a broken bat most of the time. It had like a little crack under the label. Only the starters got the good bats. But that's my story.
You got the half broken bat.
There's so many stories. Well, it was funny. So they take they have all these bat boxes. I think it's like 6 wood bats to a box. They just take them and dump them out all over the clubhouse floor. And then, like, all the dudes are walking around, picking up, like, shaking them, testing them out. Like, I like this one, I like that one. All these veterans were, like, picking up a bat. And every time I picked up a bat, and I was like, oh, this is a good one. Some, like, veteran, like Ray DeLeon, he, like, played with the Dodgers organization. He's like, oh, that is a nice bat. And he just grab it out of my hand. I go, all right, well, I'm not going to argue with Ray. He's a vet. So I go pick out another bat. And then, like, some other vet comes up. He's like, hey, you don't play, dude. You don't need that bat. I like this bat. And so I pick up, like, 3 or 4 bats. And dudes were just, like, taking them. I was like, dude, you don't play. And so I don't really have a bat. And then, like, Eric Benavidez, nicest guy ever. He also went to Lubbock Christian. He's like, dude, you ain't got a bat? I was like, well, I got the crappy team bat. And he's like, oh, here's one I got. It's got some decent wood.
Bat.
But then it's like, he's like, it hits good, but it's got a little crack under the label. I was like, all right, well, I'll fucking take any bat I can get because nobody's letting me use their shit. So I hit like a bases. I was probably like, if that bat wasn't broken, maybe I do hit a grand slam, and I'd have made tons of money because then they pass the bucket around the stands, and all the fans throw a fucking $1 in there. I'd have made my entire salary in one night if I had like another foot of power on the double off the wall. Anyway, I digress. Many baseball stories I can just run up the hot air roll, but you tell me, bud, on your roadmap and on your notes what I'm not covering.
No, my notes were exactly what your notes were, because I just looked at your text message about what you wanted to talk about, and I just copied that and I just took notes. So I didn't have anything extra that I was going to talk about. So
what do you think of promos? What's Dutch Chattahoochee what you think on the promos
for Seguin?
Yeah.
Obviously, free merch giveaways. We'll have a raffle. Raffles? Like, you put in $1, something like that, and if you win, you get a free merchandise.
You know how they do the thing where, like, a certain player, if he hits a double, then you get a burger?
Those kind of things? Yeah. Like, if you hit a home run, a certain section gets free food. Those things are always cool. Section row 7, seat 9, free Taco Bell.
What about how they do the like the hide the ball or the hide the French fries admissions game, and it's like a little shell game
on the screen?
Yeah. What if we actually had our little plastic table and we had the solo cups and we were doing the three cup Monty or 3-card Monty and just shuffling around a ball?
Find the river monster. Which lake is it in?
And I'm just like shuffling around 3 solo cups to see if somebody can pick. Put that out there. I don't know. Just spitballing, bud.
Would it be real cool if you had like a fishing pole with a magnet on it, and you had a magnet on the like $100 bill, and if you're able to catch it, you get $100.
Oh, that's a great idea.
If you can like reel it in, you get like $100.
That's a great idea. You got to do something with
because
with
like,
a fishing pole.
Yeah, because it's a river monster, and people like to fish in Seguin, right?
Oh yeah,
rivers.
definitely.
And so like you have like maybe you stand on home plate and you have the $100 bill maybe on second, and you like throw it out and you try to get on the magnet.
Oh, you're a genius, buddy.
But you only get, it's like a crane game, right? Where you have to try to grab it. But the thing is you get one toss.
Oh man, you're a genius, buddy.
So you're like, okay, the one flip or whatever the fuck you call it. I don't fish.
Yeah, we gotta have some kind of casting game, something.
And then if you win, you win $100, and you get like maybe something else. I don't know, but you know what I mean. That'd be kind of fun.
That's a great idea. Because really what you want, I think, for these kind of games and minor league games is between the innings, right? You want
It's
to have
called the
these
$100 toss.
Yeah, you got these little promos between the innings for fun. Let the kids run around the bases, catch a fly ball,
They had the one-
cast the
We'll
fishing rod.
We'll have to do some kind of chugging thing like at the missions.
Oh, yeah, they do the
I did-
chugging.
I was in it.
I saw you. Did you win? You
No.
didn't look like you won.
No, I didn't win because I'm not a chugger.
Chug some coffee.
But it was fun as hell though, because I was there before. I always get there like an hour early just to like walk around and go to the shop and stuff. And one of the guys in charge of the promotions is like, "Hey man, you wanna do this?" I was like, "Fucking absolutely." I didn't care what I won. I didn't care. I just like, "Oh yeah, sounds fun." Because that was always something I've always wanted to do was the Bill Miller tea chug. So
Dude, that's awesome, buddy.
when they chose me, I was like, "Sweet."
That's good stuff, man. I like it. I think
I got a free. I didn't win, but I got a free cup of tea out of it. So yeah.
There you go, man. Well, we'll have all kinds of promotions for them.
That we'll have to
River
do something like that.
Monsters.
We'll have to find out what restaurant is popular there, and then do something with the restaurant.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Like
out there.
maybe who can eat the most. I don't know, something. You know what I mean?
There's a new barbecue place. I maintain the best barbecue in Seguin's actually at HEB. They have one of those barbecue places,
Oh,
Real
yeah.
Texas Barbecue.
Is that the Flaming Bird or something like that?
No, I don't know. It's just called Real Texas
Oh, okay.
Barbecue, and not all HEBs have that barbecue place, but Seguin's HEB has one, and that is
Yeah,
that's
squeaky.
some good barbecue, man. I'm not lying. Well, let's get into the musical reviews because I'm always loving to see what you came with, and
Okay.
then
You want to plug in the thing real quick?
yeah, let's plug in your thing.
So I was sitting last night, and I was like, because I have so many bands to talk about.
Yep.
I'll give this to you. That way you can just make sure you don't play it too long. But anyway, so there's a band from Chicago called the Boll Weevils. That's who we're gonna do today.
I love it.
Yeah, they've been on a couple hiatuses, you know.
Shout
they've
out
been-
to the Chicago Dogs,
Yes.
which I think is
But this
independent or college team up
this
there.
band started in '89.
Okay.
So yeah, they're from Chicago. And if I remember this correctly, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the singer is a doctor, and then the guitar player is a principal or vice principal.
So
One
it's
of
just those 5 right there, but
Yeah.
got 5.
I always
good
do
ones.
5 songs because I feel
love
like.
it.
So some of the songs on there are from older albums that were re-released, so they're not exactly in chronicle order as far as years.
Yeah.
But like I said, I chose 5 songs, and I think they would be the best of some of the. Because you're gonna dig this band.
All right, 2 things I'm going to ask you because I'm psyched about the Boll Weevils. Every time you do music, it's just makes the show better. Can you see on your laptop if there's actually anybody watching on YouTube? Because
Oh, that's what. No, I have YouTube up. I've had it up the whole time.
okay, is anybody actually watching this?
My wife.
Your wife.
Well, when she can, she's getting ready to
But
go.
sometimes I click on random stuff. It's on YouTube. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you have any randoms in there?
No, right now it's just me.
It's just
Because my wife's been watching, but she's also been doing school stuff.
yeah.
So she's been
So
going
it's
back
just
and
really
forth.
like only 2 people. Like
Yeah.
YouTube is just not featuring us
She
on the
left
front,
comments,
on the
too.
front page.
She left comments. She left a comment that said, "Dutch would be the first to get tased."
All right, we're gonna do some Boll Weevils. I'm gonna get this up, and then we don't really have to worry about a YouTube live stream watchers. Like I can't hear anything. Nobody will complain. It's just gonna be on Spotify.
But we are gonna try to sync up this audio
one
with the video.
one day.
You know, you can upload video podcasts on.
I don't know. I'm interested
So
to
if
see
we
how
could-
that works.
If we could, we can upload the audio, but if we can somehow figure out how to sync this up with the video, we can start doing video releases too. Not necessarily on Spotify, but on YouTube. We'll have the video podcast up or
So
something.
crazy.
That'd be kind of
We're
cool.
live streaming. It's hilarity. All right, this one is the Boll Weevils, The Witness from my ace, Dutch Chattahoochee. Let's do it. I like it, bud.
Fucking sick, huh?
Now, how'd you hear about these guys initially? Just because they've been around so long, everybody kind of knows the Boll Weevils?
No, I first heard about them because on Spotify. Because like I was,
You could do the search music and just find related?
No, so I listened to obviously a lot of pop punk, and I was listening to some song. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so that album had finished. You know, on Spotify, when you're done listening to an album or song, it starts playing similar stuff. Well, that's what this happened.
Bam, got
I was
the Boll
listening to some
Weevils.
album, and the album had finished, and then it started playing the Boll Weevils. I was like, fuck.
It's going to work out because one day we're going to go to Chicago to go to Wrigley, and then the Boll Weevils will come, and then I'm going to have an aneurysm like John Olerud, and then this guy's a doctor, and he's like, I can fix you.
Speaking of music, so next month in Austin, there's going to be a Destroy Orbison show that we should probably try to go to.
Oh, hell. Yes.
It's on a Saturday.
Yes.
So I want to try and see if I can go to that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Is Miss Raymond going to make it?
I don't know. I'm going to see if I can take it off.
Bringing our ladies or no?
I'll obviously ask her if she wants to go.
All right, but that sounds
see
awesome.
Destroy
I'm
Orbison,
psyched. Got to go see Destroy Orbison. Got to support. All
Local
right,
tunes.
let's go back. I know how to use your phone now. This one is called Dysomnia by Design. Did I say that right? Dysomnia by Design, the Boll Weevils. Good stuff.
They have the sickest bass lines, dude. Those bass lines are so badass.
I like it. I like the names. Their songs are pretty funny too. Random thing. So one guy's a doctor, the other guy's a principal.
Yes. So the singer is the doctor,
Okay.
and then the guitar player, either he's a vice principal or a principal.
Do we know what kind of doctor?
No, I do not.
Because the doctor mentioned made me think about John Olerud. You know the story of why that dude wore a helmet? Because he had a brain aneurysm in college. Great Blue Jays hitter, but he played with some other teams, had some great years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But here's the crazy thing about that. And his dad was a doctor who did those kind of surgeries, so ultimate no choice. He operated on his son.
Every time I take my hat off, to scratch my head, my fucking headphones fall.
I know how that goes. But isn't that crazy? Like, you become a doctor and you're a neurosurgeon, and then your son has an affliction where you actually have the skills to be the person who could operate on it. It's the ultimate no choice, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't have a choice to not do this surgery, because if I let somebody else do it and something goes wrong, I'll never be able to sleep at night. So
and we now have 3 watchers on the live stream.
3 watchers? All right, well, we're talking about John Olerud.
So my aunt and my wife, I believe, are the other 2.
Oh, Aunt Cheryl?
Yeah.
Dude, number 1 fans. That's awesome.
So now we have 3 people.
I wonder, my sister checks out our stuff on YouTube sometimes at work. So if it's my sis, what's up? But because I was like, are you listening to our podcast on Spotify? She's like, no, I just like put it on the background in on YouTube. So she listens to the audio on YouTube.
I listen to I'm doing schoolwork sometimes. I was like, type it, do schoolwork.
A lot of times I review us the day of when I'm driving out to class, but I think it was like, I don't know, the Roki Society. Oh, no, it was the Black Mist Japanese bribery scandal was our lowest listened to. But hopefully the live stream helps boost numbers.
Until somebody discovers us and be like, yo, those are good topics and good input. So
We're Mr. Gelati, Mr. Barry have discovered us, so that's good
The
stuff.
fact that they knew what the video was is like, oh shit, they actually
checked it out.
Yeah.
Checking out some wiffle ball in the woods.
We got a subscriber through that too.
That's the type of people we are. We adapt and overcome. But anyway, one of this Bo Evil's guy's a doctor, and that just made me think of the old root thing. The fact the guy operated on his own son.
So I think that's why they broke up the first time was because he finished medical school. So he's like, hey guys.
Do you go to like Northwestern Medical, one of those like kick-ass Chicago?
To be honest,
schools? I love Chicago. Such a great city.
There's only so much you can find on the internet about these dudes.
All right, this one's called Fence Sitter.
Oh, this is like one of my favorites by them.
All right, well you're good at picking music, buddy. So Fence Sitter from the Bo Weevils. Sorry to the YouTube viewers.
Oh, they can't.
You wanna change world, you live around. That's not just a prophecy. You wanna change world, conservative. Let's not more generosity. Why don't believe in your conservative vibe? When I don't care if you cannot decide. It's all just rhetoric that you spout. Here's your opinion, I can do without. Why don't believe in your conservative vibe? When I don't care if you cannot decide. It's all just rhetoric that you spout. Here's your opinion, I can do without. You wanna change world, you dreamer, but look at cold reality. You wanna change world, right winger, but think what you're progressing. I don't believe in your conservative vibe, and I don't care if you cannot decide. It's all just rhetoric that you spout. It's your opinion, I can do without. I don't believe in your conservative vibe, and I don't care if you cannot decide. It's all just rhetoric that you spout. It's your opinion, I can do without. I don't believe in your conservative vibe, and I don't care if you think anarchy is right. It's all just rhetoric that you spout. It's your opinion, I can do without.
It's your opinion. I can do without.
Yep,
I like that.
got some good lyrics.
That's like
in
one of
there.
my favorite songs by them, by the way.
I don't know. Like, I really want to go to the Destroy Orbison show with you because I think a punk show with Dutch Shadow should be so much fun. But like, I can't listen to lyrics because I'm just like,
You're too
I'm like
busy
a wild
fucking-
animal.
yeah.
Like, when am I going to jump into the pit?
You got to at the show,
You
like
got to jump in the pit at the
the
show.
energy just takes you, man.
Energy just takes you,
can't
and then
help
like you're the old guy at the show, so then the kids are gonna thrash you, and you're just like, okay, it's like you just going in and out.
You'll
Like,
be at a show, right? You'll be like, just somehow you'll be chilling. Next thing you know, like it's over. You're like, fuck, what happens? Like the energy just consumed you,
yeah,
and
you
you
just get
lost,
so amped up.
You lost yourself in the.
That'd be so much fun. Man, I'm gonna try to get the hall pass for that one.
I'll have to see what's up, and I think it's like right after I come back from my vacation, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it off.
You know, that would be like good video content to do, like some pre-game interview with those guys.
It'd be almost like a. Also, we could do like a vlog.
Yeah, pre-game interview.
3BGB goes to a punk show.
Yeah, a pre-game interview, and then like
be
get
sick.
some show footage, and then like post-game interview. That would be some great content, honestly. Everybody loves a punk show, and then like just promote Destroy Orbison for the awesome band that they are.
We're here live at the show with Destroy Orbison here on the Austin, Texas, live.
That would be so great. And
telling you, if I could-
apologies to our 3 YouTube listeners because they
Yeah.
can't hear that music. We can't figure out how to do that with OBS. But anyway,
So when the music is playing, it's just they're just staring at us.
They're
Like,
just
what are
staring-
they,
that's
what
why
are they doing? What
I feel
the
like I
fuck are they
should.
doing?
That's why I was doing that. Sometimes I do the like
Yeah, to
it's
give
like
the
a
impression
jig-
that there's music.
a jiggly running man. I call it. It's like my arms are like shaking
What if we
salt
were-
shaker style, but I'm like.
What if we were listening to instrumental music from the 1800s or some shit?
So yeah, they don't know what we're listening to. All right, we got 2 more. This one's called 7.5 Clicks, bud.
Out of the blue, I saw a smiling face, and I had to learn it. She looked at me and smiled back, and I knew we felt the same. What brings the God so many times for a love that would be true? Why can't you not the truth is clear? 'Cause I'm so in love with you. I never wanna lose you. I'd do anything. I never wanna lose you. I'd do anything. I never
stuff.
While the song was playing, I took a quick bite of the food. I was so hungry. I was
Well,
like, fuck.
I was rolling over to look at
need my
audition. I
sandwich.
almost ate shit. Did you see
I
that?
saw you just fell.
I was fuck. That'd be great
I
content.
think you need to calm down there, buddy.
If I would have fell over and
Where's,
slammed my face.
As your fellow Canadians would say, hey, you need to take it easy, bud?
It's
You're gonna
crazy.
fall.
Totally crazy. Like I can see the OBS over here. I got so many cords
Dude,
going
there's
on.
this fucking live guy competing with us right now.
What?
Yeah, it says live. Create a sci-fi movie poster. Fuck him, dude.
I don't know. I don't want to hate on anybody because I feel like eventually they're all going to get on the 3BGB bandwagon.
Just go in his live stream, leave a comment. Please go watch this one instead.
Just check him out.
What you
just like I say,
You
go
spam him with comments. Join 3BGB
yeah,
live
go
stream.
check that out. Like go watch the 3BGB cat videos.
I'm eating right now while we're talking. I don't care because I'm fucking hungry.
You can watch our Wiffle Ball in the Woods video only after you've watched all the cat feeding videos. Support that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I almost started laughing.
I'm gonna choke,
This is that
choke
guy.
you on
He's
your-
like, 3B. I can't do without laughing.
It's the breakfast. He screams breakfast.
He goes, 3BGB breakfast.
I can
like
just
that
say
guy.
this as a cat man and cat lover. Those videos are great. I mean, I'm not even. People would.
I don't like cats. I think it's his personality that gets it for me.
I know we're not protective in that way. We're not protective about anybody horning in on the brand. We're here to just kind of promote everything, really.
Because people's like, what's 3BGB stand for? I'm like, CBGB
Well,
in third base.
Yeah, you never. It's just a good match because CBGBs was so legendary
I
in
know.
punk culture.
I think it started out like as
it's
a
the
blues,
epicenter.
a blues country bar, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
he thought it was gonna be like bluegrass and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but just got a bunch of original music in there. It's just like the epicenter of the punk movement,
When
one of them.
when our band gets going,
There's a lot in England, but you got that, and then 3B means it's a play on third base ground ball, which is not how you annotate it for keeping score. Which I'm excited to call the games because you get to keep score, and I love keeping score in a ball game. I can get my scorebook out and keep track of the pitch count and all that stuff, and call the game. I'm excited.
it's the 5-4-3 double play.
That's right. So
Third base, second
one
base,
more
first base.
tune for the Pole Weevils, and then we'll do a summary and outro wrap for the 3 YouTube
I'm ready for the
viewers.
outro music because it's sick.
For the YouTube
Now, if you're
viewers.
watching at the beginning of the live stream, you could hear it through the speakers, so you know what it is. But,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
And
saying?
I would say to anybody streaming, go ahead and watch the Sci-Fi Guy now for the next minute and a half.
it's like
and then come
right
back.
underneath ours. It
Yeah,
says
come right back to us. Come on back.
he's teaching you how to. Now, there's one that we won't never be able to compete with, the what's he call it? Pat McAfee show.
Oh yeah, we can't do that.
That guy's like a beast of fucking content.
Wasn't he like
yeah.
an NFL punter or whatever?
Yeah, he's played for the Colts.
All right. Well,
Colts, man.
three
Colts.
BGB one of these days. You never know. But the whole point is have fun with baseball.
I agree.
You can't lose. Can't lose there. All right. Liniment and Tonic. If I'm saying that right, Liniment and Tonic, the Boll Weevils.
I want to eat my sandwich while this.
I like that. Nice fast beat.
1, 2, 3, 4. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. Oh, you work all night just to get your pay. Gotta keep production the Chicago way. Keeping up with beers till the end of the day. You gotta find relief. 1, 2, 3, 4. My back's broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. Oh, you drive to a dive up in 94. They all know your name when you walk through the door. The line's getting higher as they sink to the floor. You gotta find release. 1, 2, 3, 4. My back is broken. I'm drinking liniment and tonic again. My
That's good stuff.
I think that's one of their newer recent songs. I don't know how old it is, but it's one of their newest ones.
Here's my question: since we're gonna have recorded video, like the live stream people, you're just screwed. You didn't hear it.
But hopefully we can match up this video.
Are you saying we're gonna sync it in Avid and post it?
Well, we're gonna record. We're gonna post the podcast itself, obviously.
Yeah.
But then we'll be able to take this video, the podcast audio, and sync it up with the
The video.
OBS software video, and hopefully,
Do that, but you're saying marry them in Avid.
I think because we're recording the video now in OBS, right?
Yeah.
So once we stop recording, we'll just
Theoretically.
We'll try to sync it together, and then start putting not live streams up, but video podcasts, because then this audio will be synced with the video audio, so it will sound like we're speaking through a mic, so it'll sound really good and look good. Because a live stream, all you hear is what the room.
Yeah.
So you hear us talking, but you don't get to hear the music or the call. So you're like, I wonder what they're listening to.
Do you think now's a good time to do another clapper? Like, I guess if you have the clapper at the beginning, it doesn't even matter. Once one of them's lined up, then it's all lined up.
Yeah. So I'll do the clapper.
Do
this
another
is a clapper.
Dutch and turnstile.
Produced by 3BGB, right? The Roll 3712.
Yep.
The scene, live, I guess.
Yeah.
Take 1 million.
That's about right.
The directors are Dutch and Turnstile. The
Mhm.
year is 2001, and it is 32-day sync. That's
right.
the time.
That sounds all right. All that sounds extremely accurate.
So someone's like, what time is it again? 32-day sync.
It's got to have that sound clap. That's
I
all I
want
know.
to clap it. Ready?
Yeah,
Ready for this?
that's perfect. That's all
Hold
we
on.
need.
It didn't.
Well-
there we go.
Oh, I saw it in there. See, this is the first one.
Okay.
Got it.
But we need something
You don't
louder.
want, you don't want
so
too
it can-
many. No,
yeah.
I just want one. I actually used the sound clapper video sound sync
People don't understand how important these things are.
on the wiffle ball. On the wiffle ball video, it
Yeah, I
helped.
remember that. Yeah.
It helped me line it up.
These are super important. You should always have one of these around.
It was hard,
Especially for our field.
but
that
you
we're
have
going.
to zoom in. You have to zoom in
Yeah.
because you can see that one little sound wave
Yeah.
and then line it up.
But the importance of this is to be able to match it up without trying to.
It's unbelievable.
Of course, there are some programs that are really badass that you just throw it in there and then the computer does it itself. But we don't have that program.
I think it's shout outs outro time.
Yeah.
I didn't even shit on Major League Baseball once yet this entire episode, which is like my favorite hobby.
Yeah, I will make a shout out.
Oh, did you see Roger Clemens pitched like a 20 strikeout game or something 8
No,
months after
I don't pay
arm
attention
surgery?
to that fucking dude.
Well, there's a cool Donruss baseball card from like 86 or 87.
I bought a pack of Donruss baseball cards. It's funny because they don't have the rights to the logos of the teams, so but it's they're still great cards.
Well, it was the point being is that record that game Clemens has not possible with pitch count.
It's not
coming off surgery.
No,
You're
it's
gonna let a guy strike out 20 dudes? Nope.
'Cause,
Not-
like,
not
they're, like-
today's game.
Because what do they say they want you to do? Keep under what 10 pitches in an inning or
I
some shit?
don't know what it is, but anyway, I digress. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stay positive. I'm so psyched about the River Monsters. All the River Monster players coming. Obviously,
I'm excited to go to the stadium and hang out, and
Oh,
see
yeah.
the game itself.
I
Right?
mean, you talk to Mr. Barry, Mr. Gelati, the head shed,
they
all
clearly-
class,
They clearly know what they're doing.
all class, putting together a great outfit.
Plus, they're
wearing-
baseball guys. They
Vogue
played
shoes.
so they can
I
understand.
kind of wanted to get into him more about that, but most of my
Yeah,
interviews are just kind of by the seat of my pants, so I'm just
you're winging it.
jumping from one
Next time I'll
lily pad to
maybe
the
try to
next.
insert myself a little bit more. Have some
Jump
things.
in there, bud. Whenever, just shut me up. Just jump right in there. I just the one connection because I had lunch. I had lunch with Mr. G out there and talked a little bit. I thought it was funny because one of the summer teams that we played against in my summer league was in Utica, and I think, and he'll have to correct me. I kind of remember Utica being a really pretty town on a kind of like a steep, rocky, craggy, hilly area. It was very beautiful. I thought. I can't remember if that was Geneva or Utica, but I kind of upstate New York's absolutely gorgeous. But you got Mr. Barry's catching back there, and catchers are extremely knowledgeable about the game, much like
Yeah.
Yogi Berra. So those guys are just baseball guys. Can't rub enough shoulders with baseball guys. Shout out to Mr. Nakatomi. Golf Thursday. You should have seen how pissed off he got.
Can I make one more?
Well, go ahead.
Can I make a shout out before we get into this
Yeah.
story? I want to give a shout out to the Burger King on Tesla Road.
Yes.
And here's why. I'm being dead fucking
This
serious
is what I
about this.
love.
So there's this Burger King. I work off of Tesla Road,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a Burger King next to my job. And every single time I've gone there, or my wife and I have gone there together, the food's always fucking good. It always tastes so good. And the order's always right. And it's just, I don't know, that specific Burger King.
Oh,
Is-
it's definitely that specific Burger King because I love Burger King, and there was one off of 90
Yeah.
West. I won't go to that one anymore because the shake machines there work and the shit ain't
But
right.
the one on Tesla Road is always good. It's like right there on the corner. Like there's a Walmart across the street. And this one is always good, man. And I've been going to this one for years, right? So I just wanted to give a shout out to the Tesla Burger King. So if anybody ever listens who works there, you're fucking great.
That
Because I think fast food workers are underappreciated
that's true.
because you're constantly making food because people going in and out and they expect the food to be made quickly. That's why it's called fast food, right?
I mean,
So shout out to them
that is a
because they could be busy and they're always
tough
like
gig.
and that Burger King they're always like stoked. Like every time I've gone there, they're always like, "Hey, how you doing?"
I guess I never worked in food service. I did grocery stocking.
Yeah,
I did Jiffy Lube. Where have I worked? I
I worked at a pizza place for like a year.
Oh,
and a
I
couple
worked
months.
at a pizza place.
And it was an easy job, but yeah, it sucked. It gets busy on the weekend and no breaks. I don't think I ever took a break at lunch when I worked. I think I just worked always through my shifts.
Yeah. So
I was 18, boy. Get in there and make.
Mr. Nakatomi's second shot on the 6th hole goes right in the sand trap. I was like, whatever. It's easy up and down. He'll get it on the green. Chops it. Ball hits the lip, rolls back in. He's a little bit perturbed because he loves golf. Does it again. After about 3 hacks in the sand trap, and I can't really see him because it's like a deep sand trap. I see the club go flying out of there, and he goes, "Kusakare!" And then he almost, like his caddy is from Japan. He like helps him around the office some, and I thought he was about to slap him in the face, but then he pulled out that little flask, and then he drank it, and he kind of calmed down. But man, total meltdown on the 6th.
He talks to you like that because he's not as nice to me.
Oh, he doesn't talk to us like that. He was just pissed about getting. I mean, he added 5 strokes on that one. So
he tried to add me on Facebook. I told him no.
Well, he loves you. I'll tell you.
Well,
what.
he doesn't
Mr.
need to be in
Mr.
my personal
Nakatomi
life.
is our benefactor around here. Mr. G, Mr. Barry, and Mr. Nakatomi, man. Stay close to the guys.
And we're still the
guys
number
that count.
one radio show on 97.9 The Cat.
97.9 The Cat can't get rid of us. I know they'd love to, but look at the numbers, bud. That's all I'm saying. And Leonard and Will up there, look at the numbers.
And
they come talk to me. I'm untouchable.
We're currently working on a slogan for the Cat. We're trying to come up with something.
The Cat.
Nakatomi
Get hooked.
said,
Skiing River Monsters.
Nakatomi said, "Do whatever you want, any kind of slogan. I'll prove it."
Other shout outs, Jack Ivy. Bless you, man. Thanks for doing all the work for the Weimar Hormigas out of charity and his love of Weimar baseball. And then hands it off to Andrew Dunn, who, if we can ever track that guy down, absolute busiest guy in the world, trying to run the Pecos League. UTSA Roadrunners, Coach Hallmark out there doing good stuff. Coach Reyes and the rest, Coach Morales, everybody going. City of Seguin. Who are we forgetting, Dutch?
Seguin, Reyes. I mean, just the players coming to Seguin to play.
Got some good ones.
You got to give that to them.
Got some Phi Beta Kappas in there.
Give it up to the players who decided, I want to go to Seguin as opposed to other teams.
Find a nice rhythm with your partying. I'll try to give some tickets to local law enforcement, and hopefully everything just goes over hunky-dory.
Hey, you want an Oreo there, officer?
I'll tell you what, I mean, I'm pretty much known in these parts as the number one Far East baseball card smuggler and dealer, especially when it comes to KBO and Japanese League.
They don't touch you, though, because there's ramifications they don't want to deal with.
Import-export taxes, they're never going to get me. I can't.
I'm looking at some of those illegal cards right now. Some of those Nippon League.
Look at these bricks right here. Those bricks. Unopened. That's mint.
I know.
Stacks.
If
stacks.
If Johnny Law was around, they saw those. I might lose my co-host here. I might have to do the show by myself.
Can't get that.
I'm kind of scared of that. Because what if I say something that I shouldn't say out loud?
This here's I think this is also Japanese, but these are special. And then this is my KBO.
I do like those Archives baseball cards sitting over there, though.
Yeah, those are nice. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming in and doing it. Do you think I guess maybe the switch up from the donuts to the breakfast sandwiches, in my mind, is what was going to make the live stream happen?
I always
forget. And it kind of did.
I keep meaning to bring tacos in here, but then I forget.
I don't know. I think these sandwiches are healthier for us than the donuts. I don't even know where mine is, but all right, man. Until next Tuesday, maybe we'll go out and see Smokey Joe Williams Ballpark.
I think so. Next week.
Yeah, when are you heading out?
The following week, which is I'm leaving on the 16th, I think.
Okay.
So that morning at like 3 or 4 a.m.
All right. Yeah, I got some travel plans this summer that don't make a whole lot.
So I don't know if what'll happen with the podcast
scheduling,
when I'm
but-
gone. If you do it solo, I don't know, but
I don't know. That's gonna be weird.
yeah.
I could put Carl there. And
Or
then
just do a 2-week hiatus. I don't know.
just do a 2-week hiatus. I do like to keep the content coming. Maybe I'll just because Saber's got some good stuff.
Or-
I could just hate on MLB, aka the Adult Rec League,
What we
for
could do-
30 minutes and just give people a little bit of.
What we could do is pre-record a podcast early and then have a couple lined up to release.
Yeah, I could do that.
Like, come here on one of my days off and record it. It can even be in the evening when you're free and I'm free or something.
Yeah, because I did notice our numbers moved a little bit when we had that huge delay. So I think there was a handful of people like kind of waiting for Tuesdays, like thinking it'll be
Well, we've
every
been
Tuesday.
consistent.
We've been pretty consistent every Tuesday.
Episode 13.
Episode
Your
lucky
favorite
13.
player, A-Rod?
A-Rod. I don't know why you would pick the number 13, as baseball players are really superstitious, but he did. And a great career, even though he's juicing. But
And he wasted the Rangers' money. And
he seems like such a
time.
nice guy now. I was not an A-Rod fan, but he just generally doesn't seem like a terrible person. So I don't know what to say about A-Rod. And
Well.
some issues with it. Remember when he slapped the ball out of that dude's hand on that like tag play, and everybody? I was like, that was.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? All right, buddy. Outro we go. I love the outro music. We can talk over it because it's such good. It's such good outro music.
It's historical.
Let's bring it up. And it had a funny name too. It's called "Keep Off the Grass."
Yeah, keep up the grass.
I feel like we're having tea
This is like mid-movie,
mid movie.
right? Where they you're like
Gonna
working with the
get my-
FBI or the government, right? And you're trying to scope out what's going on.
Do I drink with my pinky in the air?
And you fake, what do you call it? You don't fake, but you disguise yourself as one of these British royalties, but you're really with FBI members, so you just walk around and ask them questions like, I heard that Jones is going to be here today. And they're like, Jones is over there. You're like, okay, thank you. And they'll say, Jones.
Cheerio.
They'll say, Jones.
If we could get
Jones isn't really whatever that accent was.
Here's my other shout out.
What's that?
Because I would love for these guys to listen to us, though they won't, because there's like a zillion podcasts in baseball. But there's this whole entire UK, United Kingdom baseball clubs and fans that, because you know how they love Premier League?
Yeah.
They do the same thing. They're just like picking teams over there. Like, I'm with the Phillies UK, and then they just get all into that team, just like there's Americans who are like, I decided I like Manchester United. So there's like this entire English vibe happening in Major League Baseball, because they do that game in London every year, which is kind of fun. That'd be a fun one. All right, buddy. Till next time, you the best.
See you around, sir.
And fade it up and then fade it back down.